General out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestra, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Hi, and thank you all for joining us today. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans.
Hello, no, who this, please? Oh no, he says this is news on the flip side. Yes, we are broadcasting live from somewhere on the other side of the planet. Welcome everybody. I hope y'all having a good evening. Sorry, my voice got a little crazy there for a minute.
Sounded a touch foreign.
Yes, it got the little witch. There it goes again. Every now and then it slips into an Italian voice. You got to watch that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, the Italian voice isn't that scary. It's the Italian voice and hand gestures that go along with it.
Yeah. You got to watch that when my voice goes Cajun. It can get a little.
Yeah, don't
worry. It goes Cajun. Y'all gonna be going, what the hell is he saying? It's bad enough you can't understand me now. It goes Cajun. You'd be like,
corner, man. I'm ready.
That's like somebody I said a couillon the other day, and somebody said, "What the hell's a couillon?" I said, "It's mushrooms." They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's just it's Cajun mushrooms. It just means mushroom people. It's all couillon just means mushroom. But nice to see you, Jay. Where the hell is everybody? I seen something from Sean. I didn't get a chance to read it because
Sean had some medical procedure this morning.
Okay. He's pregnant. All right.
So yeah, I think he's going to rest.
So,
Leah is having a weekend with her son, so she may.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad she's spending time with the kid. I'm glad it was a big thing for. I'm glad it's worked out, and she gets to spend some time for little Liam. Yes, y'all remember Liam from what was that TV series? Earth Final Conflict. Yes, that's what Liam. Oh, this comes out of my garden. Look at these little hot red bastards, man. These bitches are hot. They make ghost peppers look like girly peppers.
Okay. Amelia's saying my mic is low.
My mic is low. I have been probed by extra. Hey, Amelia, how you doing in there, sweetie? No, I didn't see her hiding in there. Amelia's an alien. She comes to stop in every once in a while. I'm not sure. She's, extraterrestrial. Yes, she's. Oh no, she's got like. Well, no, I seen her in a TV one day in a reverse shot of TV. She was like energy beam of some sort. Yes, all shiny and sparkly and stuff. It's very strange. Yes. Yes, no, really, I'm being serious, people. Oh, whatever. We got a couple of things we're going to be crossing about space later on in the show, but so first off, we just need to start off with Trump has got balls the size of the White House. So he sends 2 nuclear submarines over there, parks them in 2 different locations, so that he could block the Russia only has 3 ports they can use.
Is this 2 more or the 2 he did last week?
No, this is the 2 he sent, but they're over there now and they're parked out there.
Yeah.
So where they're parked, they can officially shut off 2 of his ports. Just boom, and with 1 missile, Germany can shut off their other port. So they're officially stuck.
Well,
maybe they get some food from Belarus or maybe from China, but China's trying to stay out of this because China don't want to get in a big argument with America over this, because then the tariffs can be tariff city. China's economy is going to go from worse to in the shithole, which is getting close to now. Brexit's been, I don't know if y'all know what Brexit is, people will talk about in a second. Brexit's been trying to get off the US dollar for a while and create their own powerful dollar. The problem is China wants it to be the yen, but the yen just don't have any pull right now. I'd have to go look at the ratio, but I think it's like 1,000 yen to $1 or something. It's ridiculous. And so it doesn't really have any pull. So they keep saying, oh, we're going to get, no, you're not. So, and then China really needs America and Europe to be trading partners. Without it, who they're going to trade with? Russia? Russia don't have no fucking money. Russia's almost bankrupt. Russia has no people, no money. All they got is nuclear weapons. And just recently, we may have come into a way to take care of those.
Chinese yuan to $1 US is $7.18. So you take a US dollar, you get $7.18 in Chinese money.
Yeah, so you're rich in China. You got $1,000, man. You got money over there.
One offshore account or offshore type of money, and it's the same.
Well, I've been listening to it because the other day somebody was going on something about 50 or 80. So China's deficit's going up and its amount of money is going down. So every time it goes down, our money goes up over it. I don't know. America usually the pound is the money worth the most in the world. I think it is the dollar right now, but that's because Trump is mastering everything like he's a beast man. But anyway, getting back to these 2 subs. So these are nuclear subs, by the way. These are the kind that have nuclear weapons on board. These are not just any particular subs. I don't know how. I didn't get the names. What was that, Jay?
He didn't send nuclear attack subs. He sent nuclear subs. There's a difference. The subs he sent are strictly offensive. The nuclear attack subs are strictly to go after nuclear submarines.
Yeah, these subs actually have, I think they each have 16 nuclear missiles on board, varying in warheads amount. They don't tell you that. It can be anywhere from 8 to 18.
Or one, yeah, exactly.
Some people say 26. In the old days, it was 26. I don't know if that's still the account today, but regardless, you're talking 25 gigatons, 25 megatons, 50 megatons. These are beast weapons. Dude, just think of this: if the Ohio, whatever it is, sends it up in the air, and they don't even have to go in space at this point, sends it up in the air, it starts coming back down. So 2 will hit like Moscow, 2 will hit St. Petersburg. Just one missile will take out, probably flatten 20 cities. Well, we'll say 10 cities for the sake of argument. So the 2 of them will flatten 20, all their major cities, in other words, will be nothing. And worse than that, they will be hitting missile silos. So a lot of silos will now be ineffective. So their arsenal goes from 2,600 to about 1,000, which is still a lot. But the problem with that is if they shoot them in space, Elon Musk can knock them down.
Would you like me to read off the specifications of this? Is from Wikipedia, so it's not it's not canon, but I do have a book that has more canon in it. But would you like, this has some actually good info in it. You want to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead, read it out. Let the people know what's going to happen.
You mentioned Ohio. USS Ohio is the class vehicle. It's the lead vehicle in this class. Overview. General Dynamics Electric Boat is what it's called. United States Navy is the operator, preceded by the Benjamin Franklin class. I didn't hear of that one. Succeeded by the Columbia class, ballistic missile submarine variant. And then the Virginia class, which is a cruise missile variant. The cost of these in the 90s was $2 billion a piece. Right now, they're worth about $4 billion. Oh, wow. Started in 1976.
Where money goes, people.
Yeah, that's where the money goes. And it's been in commission since 1981, but they were built in 1976. My father worked on these, by the way. Let's see. They planned 24, completed 18, canceled 6. There are now active 18. That's a shitload of missiles. A shitload.
Well, wait, that's just one, but that's only one. There's actually 3 different classes out there that carry.
This is one class, right? Yeah. I mean, there's actually more. There's the Columbia, the Virginia, and there's also the Seawolf, which I think we still have 2 of. And those have 8 torpedo tubes, 4 forward and 4 aft. Anyway, going back to general characteristics, it's a SSBN or GN. That's either ballistic missile nuclear or guided missile nuclear. Nuclear means it's powered, but the N means it's powered by nuclear. It doesn't mean that they all throw nuclears, but the SSBN does. The SSGN probably doesn't, but might be able to be refitted to do so. Displaces 16,000 tons, almost 17,000 tons. That's surfaced.
Hey, Steve.
That's almost, how much is a carrier? Hundreds of thousands?
Yeah, carrier is much bigger than that, but I mean, you can put a sub on a carrier's deck, so just give you an idea.
Yeah. You can hide it underneath one too.
Oh yeah, and they do all the time too.
The length is 560 feet. The beam, that's the height, right? Beam is the height of it, is 42 feet, and the draft, that's the part that goes underwater, is 35 and a half. That's a very, very low profile. 35 foot tall. Most yachts are that tall.
Yeah. So 35 feet just means it's 3 stories. It's
right. Well, no, it's 4 stories, but only 3 of them show.
Yeah. Well, no, at 35 feet there'll be 10 feet of story. So you'll have storage class, which is the 5 feet, but the other 30 is probably heights. So you probably got 3 stories, which all do something different. They all do something. All of them are different. Jackie, so on a board a submarine, if to cook, the galley is open 24/7 because the way the crews shift out, they have to be 24/7.
They have A, B, and C shifts.
Yeah, and because a nuclear carrier, carriers kind of get a little break, and they can work in 12 and 12s, but submarines don't. They're always moving. They're always going because There's a couple of classes of sub.
Tell them
The
good
Hunter
news,
class
Joe.
subs. What?
Oh, the good news? When you're on a sub, you spend 30 to 90 days underwater at once. You don't come up for anything unless the war button goes off.
Yes, and then you just come up to blow the shit out of something and go back
Yes,
under.
exactly right. You come up to launch and then you go back under.
Well, Dennis, they have so first off, we have mobile subtenders, but we actually have underwater facilities in different places that are loaded down where the sub can just pull in, reload, and back out and go. Or sometimes just go all the way through. In the old days, they used to build them on islands and stuff underneath the islands. Today, they do it a little bit different.
Well, they still do.
Yeah. Well, subtenders or any ship tender is a subtender. So in the old days, well, even today, what'll happen is sometimes you'll see a tender come up alongside of a carrier and start tending, and then in between, all of a sudden, bloop, just the top part of the sub comes up, just a walkway in the gangway and the tower comes up, and that's it. Unless they're being resupplied with nuclear weapons, and then a little bit more of the sub will come up.
The weapons are very long.
And so it just depends what the sub's getting, what's going to happen.
Let me see if I can find the armament. Oh, hey, here we go. Armament. We'll skip through to the juicy parts. 4 times 21-inch Mark 48 torpedo tubes. Well, they actually probably are now upgraded to Mark 52 ad cap torpedoes, is what I think we're using now. But that's 4 tubes. Probably 3 forward and 1 back.
Yeah, they don't always give you the complete tube, say, Roseanne. For some reason, they sketchy about that. They almost always got 4 and 4, which is 4 front and 4 aft. But they don't always tell you the aft tubes. I don't know why they don't.
Here's the juicy parts. Okay, so armament. They can also carry 20 times Trident C4 SLBMs with up to 8 MIRVs. I'm assuming that's different nuclear capacities. Yes, it is. Nuclear warheads, each ranging 4,000 miles. Wow. We can hit almost anywhere on the planet. Other armaments are Trident II missiles, SLBMs, up to 12 MIRVs.
Trident's a badass too.
Yeah, that's even more warp. That's even more nuclear power. 7,000 mile range on that. And then there are 22 vertical tubes. I'll bet you it's probably closer to like 36.
Well, 20. Well, so figure 22 because they're never going to tell you how many warheads are on a missile at SOB. Sometimes they'll just say, a lot of times they'll say just single warhead, but a lot of times they'll say possibly multiple warheads. But they never tell you. They'll give you an average sometimes. I mean, I just read one the other day, 16 to 28 warheads. Can y'all believe that, people? 16 warheads on one freaking missile. Oh, it's in a capsule. It's ridiculous.
It was 154, including 7 Tomahawk cruise missiles. For all those missiles I read off, there's 3 different ones. 154 total missiles. It's saying.
Yes. Well, John, you talking about the cruise missile? So Jay and I figured this out a while back. So we know from Trump's first term when he sent that one sub over there, it shot 99 cruise missiles. Now, generally, when you read it, it says, 30 missile. Well, we know that's bullshit because this one shot off 99.
Yeah.
It's 99 cruise missiles, just regular Tomahawk cruise missiles with regular warheads on them. He just unleashed them. That was one submarine. Just think if he pulled up 5 or 6 of them up there and said, we're gonna lay one side of your country to waste. And there's no telling what kind of warheads there are. And remember, we have tactical
average to 100. The book says 150. Jane's book probably says 170. My book that I have downstairs is probably 40 years old. So it's probably 90s technology. I mean, it has my dad's technology. It has the Certas on it on our spy boats down in that encyclopedia. But just think about it. If there are 4 boats covering both of those, or just one boat out there, then they both can shoot 100 missiles up to 7,000 miles. Russia they don't have enough missiles to stop those.
Well, Russia's biggest problem is so this missile comes in, it goes up, it's coming down the atmosphere. Now it's supersonic at this point.
Yeah,
it's cruising at a very fast speed. All of a sudden, the capsule top opens up. And it starts spewing out. Yeah, it starts spewing out warheads all over the place. Now, some of these warheads have a little jet on them to get them on track to where they got to go. One missile could do a lot of damage in Russia. 4, pretty much, there's no more Russia left. It wouldn't even take more than 4 now. Can Russia shoot down a supersonic missile? Well, they got hypersonic, so maybe.
They could probably get
probably not.
Shoot down 200 that are shot all at once.
It all depends. It all depends on where the warhead opens up at. If it's a closer to the ground, lower line, they have a better chance. If it comes in and splats open as soon as it enters the atmosphere, then no. You can fly some drones at it, but I don't know if a drone. And think about this, people. If you hit it with a drone, it's still going to ignite. People not taking this into consideration. This missile will still go. Most of them are set that if something hits them, they blow. Now, they won't do as much damage that high, but they will sure cover your country in radiation. So this is not a win situation. So anyway, Putin has agreed to meet Trump in Alaska next week. Because not only did we have the 2 submarines over there, Trump yesterday deployed a fleet towards Russia. Now, this is a fleet. So remember, some of our fleet ships carry missiles as well.
No, they all do.
All of them have torpedo tubes on board them. And most people don't realize, but every ship we have, even tenders, have torpedo tubes on board. Now, this is the other thing. So if Russia really wanted to get into war, it's got 2,600 missiles. We can probably take out, with the systems we have deployed in Europe right now, we can probably take out about, in our subs, we can probably take out about 1,600 before they get into space. Now, the submarines aren't a threat to us because right now the wolf pack is hunting them. As soon as this starts, every sub Russia's got is on the bottom of the ocean. No ifs, ands, or buts. We know, and Russia's even admitted this, that America somehow knows where every one of their damn submarines are. So, bloop, they're going to go under. We'll probably take China's out as well. And Iran's as well, and North Korea's. We'll probably take them all out, just so there's no surprises.
Not only with the technology I know that our Navy has, not only do we know where all the Russian boats are, they can find some of ours with their satellite technology as well. Don't get me wrong, but however, their silent run technology that they have to make their boats run silent and smooth, and try to evade capture and or detection. They are. We can still detect them even though our subs are going full speed.
So this tells you how advanced our subs got. So there used to be whaling stations. Well, they weren't whaling stations at the time. The United States built all these little places all over, these little underground water facilities to track submarines all around the world. But our technology got so advanced that we gave those stations to the whaling people so they could track whales. Now, honestly, that's what we did because our technology became so much more advanced that we did not need these anymore. So there's several ways that we can track a sub now. So basically what they do now is once they tag a sub, they always know where the sub is. Even if it's going to port, they know where it is. When it comes back out, they know where it is. Don't matter if it's underwater or not. So it's highly unlikely one's going to get a nuke off at DC. It's not beyond the realm possibly, but it's highly unlikely. Besides, if it surfaces, it's sunk. It knows that. There's no getting off a missile and going back under high because once you launch, you're dead. Somebody's going to kill you from some way, even if it's the. Know this. Say Russia launches 2,000 missiles. The first thing the United States is going to do is put 5,000 aircraft up in the air. 5,000. We got more than that actually. We're going to put 5,000 up in the air with missiles on them. We don't even give a shit if they're all F-42 Phantoms. We're still going to put them in the air because anything that breaks the coming in, we're going to shoot down. Just know it coming in. But Elon Musk gave us something we didn't have before.
Satellite shield.
Yeah, so Elon can knock a lot of these missiles down. So the way so you got to remember, European has a missile shield too. So when they start launching, they're going to start shooting them down. They'll probably get 1,600 of them. No, we'll say 1,000 of them. Then Elon's probably going to get another 800 of them. So now we're down to about 800. Our airplanes mostly will take those down. It's not like the old days. Russia doesn't. The fear of nuclear weapons is not as big to us as it is to them, or for China. Because if we just get pissed and decide to flatten Russia and China, we're going to flatten them. Our problem is we share trade winds with China and Russia. So any large amounts of radiation dumped on their ground, we're going to get a taste of it later on. So we always have to be, I think that's one of the things that keeps us from just wiping out both these countries. Because there's been a call to go ahead And you know what? China is not really good at hiding their missiles. They were talking about this the other day. So most of their missiles will get destroyed before they even get launched. And that's another thing. Even before Europe starts shooting them down, we'll probably destroy 1,000 on the ground. Then they'll probably destroy another 800 to 1,000, at least 600. Elon's going to take most of those out, and then our planes are going to take the rest. I don't know in this state of age if they can get a continental ballistic missile into our country. They can try. I just don't know if they can. Now we know if as long as they get their submarines, then we're safe. Well, there's a few ships out there that have tactical nukes on board, but if they start looking headed this way, somebody's going to sink their asses. More than likely, one of the Wolfpack.
I think their frontline carriers and their frontline destroyers also those two capital ships do carry.
Well, I don't think Russia has carriers anymore. I think they sold their last one to China. I'd have to double check. They sold one to India and one to China. I think they don't have them anymore. We'd have to check and see. Be sure.
Let me see. I've got a computer thing sitting right here in front of me.
So they had gotten rid of them. At one time they had about 3, but last I heard, the Allies have all but 3 of the carriers in the world. We have 11, not including the Harrier carriers, or now what we call drone carriers. Yeah, well, I was listening to this guy in the Middle East or in Ukraine today saying, well, America's not ready for this war. You asshole, America invented the drone. She's talking about how they're sophisticated drones. You do. I'm thinking to myself when I'm listening to this guy, you do realize we invented the drone. I said, we'll put a Reaper drone up your ass and kill every drone you got in your warehouse. What are you talking about? This is not how.
All right, so here's the list. Ships and submarines.
We're going to send one to corny no matter what, though.
13 ballistic missile submarines, 7 cruise missile submarines, 18 nuclear-powered attack submarines. That's to go after nuclear missile submarines.
Yeah.
18 diesel attack submarines. That's to go after any kind of submarine.
Them noisy
8
bastards.
Special purpose submarines. That's probably Spetsnaz, I would think. 1 aircraft carrier, 2 battle cruisers, 2 cruisers, 10 destroyers. This is pathetic. Our Navy's bigger than this. 12 frigates, 83 corvettes, 18 landing ships, 40 landing craft. Where are they going to land? They're not coming over here.
Well, see, and that's the thing. The NATO fleet will take care of that, and the European fleet. That's not even something we have to contend with.
This fleet is not going to make it over here, even across the Atlantic, which is the smallest ocean.
I was listening to this. Navy. I was listening to this admiral who was forced to retire in China because he had warned Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping was bragging they got the biggest navy now. Well, that's kind of true. We got more submarines and we got more aircraft carriers. It's not necessarily they got only about 30 more ships than we do, and those kind of ships compared to aircraft carriers are not going to bode all that well. And then they found out that the Gerald Ford can take a nuclear blast, so no more have to worry about their hypersonic missiles. Oh yes, people, they detonated a 5 kiloton nuke right on the side of the damn thing, and it just bounced up and floated around. No, and yeah, with people on board, they were crazy. And then they did, I think it was 100 kiloton regular bomb next to it. It's so even if a hypersonic missile hits it, it's probably not going to destroy it. And then wherever that hypersonic missile came from, they're going to dump at least 80 planes on top of its head. We're not really worried about the air force of the Russians. It's not a thing we worry about. We don't worry about the air force of the. Look, right now, the Russian Air Force and Chinese Air Force combined is not as powerful as the U.S. Air Force is. And nobody wants to go up against the F-22 if they don't have to. And now, the F-22's cousin's coming out for the Navy. What was it? They got a couple new ones coming out.
X-47 is one of them. It's a drone.
Yeah, but they got a 44 and they got an F-117, which is, I thought when I first heard it, it was a stupid thing we were flying, doing
That's
Desert
the
Storm.
117.
Yes, but these things are super badass. 2 of them have speeds never even heard of before.
What speed?
Yeah, they won't mention them. They're classified. But the guy said they're faster than the SR-71.
SR-71 goes 7,000 miles an hour. How can you be faster than that?
They're faster than SR-71. And the guy said,
Jesus
no.
Christ.
He said, let me finish. He said, because actually, technically, the SR-71 does about Mach 6. I've seen them. I was in San Antonio with a friend of mine who guards B-52s, and they were having SR-71 maneuvers, right? And you can't just turn in bitches because they're so fast. Well, at Mach 3, when they come over, they're just cruising. You don't see anything. At Mach 6, the nose cone grows red. That's how you know they're going that fast. And it's official. So they're saying they're faster than that. That means you're talking about a jet that can do Mach 7.
Or better.
Or better. That's faster than any hypersonic missile, by the way. Matter of fact, they have new missiles designed for these super fast planes. So the missile drops out at the bottom and it falls back and then it turns around and then it takes off. Because it can't just take off if the fucking jet's going faster than the missile goes. Oh man, these things are just unbelievably fast. And that's what we have them doing today. Because they only rated the 22, I think at Mach 2, Mach 1.7 or Mach 2, which means its official speed is closer to Mach 3. The 35 was a little bit slower than that, but these new jets are just so badass. I mean, if I was Russia or China, I'd be getting nervous.
Sounds like most of them nowadays have to slow down just to launch a missile at some of these.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't slow down. This is what they do. They just open up the thing on the bottom.
Yeah,
the missile drops out, and the missile just floats backwards, and it can't immediately turn around because it'll go into a tumble. So it just kind of cruises backwards. It's being, as the plane's leaving, it's not actually cruising. The plane's just leaving it. And then as it slows down, it turns out completely around, and then it ignites and takes off at around Mach 3.
Oh, that's badass.
So yeah, these things are not playtime. You don't want to be nowhere around. And think about this. At Mach 7, you can run up in a pack of jets, just dump out a load of missiles, back up, cruise off, and just watch these planes go to hell. Yeah, there's no hell. No, they can't hit. No, Jeffrey, 20 millimeter. No, they can't, the gun's not going to help. The gun bullets would go all over their plane. They're going faster than a bullet travels around Mach 5. So this thing's doing Mach 7. You're going to shoot the nose cone off is what you're going to do.
Let's be clear. That Mach 5 bullet's like something like 50 caliber and higher.
Yeah.
Your 9 millimeter doesn't go quite that fast. But
I think your 9 millimeter is around 3 or something like. Yeah, it's around 2 or 3.
It's the most handguns are subsonic, but a few rifles and handguns are hypersonic. So yeah, it's
they what's that? No, Jimmy, this is badass technology. This is not playtime. This is stuff that we have not released. We haven't unleashed this technology on anybody. The X-117 was the one we flew in.
The stealth fighter bomber that we flew.
The one we flew in Iraq that nobody could seem to shoot down for no reason. This thing was subsonic. It was like 550? No, I think it was 650. It didn't break the speed of sound, and yet nobody could shoot the thing. Nobody could see it, but it actually appeared. Yeah, it actually appeared like a small flock of birds. They got B-21s now. Yeah, they got B-21s now that appear as one bird. These are big fucking B-21s. That's a huge ass plane. But they still say the Lancer is the better jet, by the way, because it carries a bigger payload. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. They're talking about how big this payload is.
Here's how big the payload is if it gets over there invisibly, and all of a sudden, boom.
But I'm thinking they're talking about how big the Lancer's payload is, bigger than any jet. And I'm thinking, really, is it bigger than the B-52's payload?
So
I have to check into that.
The F-117 had a fighter bomber role, and in the case of Desert
they
Storm,
call it FA.
Yeah, and it was exactly.
Yeah, fighter attack. Yeah,
and in the case of the attack on Baghdad, in was it 93?
It was
93 Desert Storm.
Yeah, somewhere up in there.
Yeah, it was way back. Because we were watching it on live TV. We watched it as it happened. We have the record worldwide for wiping out a nation's air force. 15 minutes. There were like a few stragglers that got off the tarmac before we blew them up with bombs, with planes they could not see. They were shooting it was like watching Star Wars. You could see their tracer bullets their tracer at AAA going up in the air all night long, trying to shoot stuff that had already flown over.
Yeah,
they were shooting at nothing.
Yeah, some of the funniest things I've seen is like them CNN reporters on the balcony, and they're out there, and here goes a crew missile, just cruising on by, man, flying about 250 feet below the balcony height. And then boom, it just takes out a whole building. We got awesome weapons. We don't need to use them, but we got awesome weapons.
That place up. I mean, it was.
We got
it was
one
on
though.
live TV. I mean, Wolf Blitzer and a couple other idiots from CNN got caught right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Well, I need. We've got one that's got Carney's name on it, but we're gonna let Russia take out Carney. I think that'll be the only nuke that'll get by. Is wherever Carney's at, there's gonna be a nuke. We're gonna make sure that son of a bitch is gone.
The one city we didn't want to get hit.
I hope he's not in Toronto, man. Oh, that'd suck.
I was thinking,
ain't that where you are? That would suck.
Yeah, because isn't that where Niagara Falls is?
No, okay. Just because we got nuclear submarines over there doesn't mean we're going to use nuke. What he's there to do, because we have cruise missiles on board those as well. If he has to, they will sink ships inside, like the Black Sea. They will just sink it and jam them up, and on the other side they'll sink them and jam them up. So that way we don't have to really start a war, and we're just using their own shit to sink them. Oh no, we'll say we gave those cruise missiles to Kiev. And they sunk them. Well, I mean, Kiev's already sunk a buttload of missiles.
We could call it sort of a weapons technology exchange. We're teaching them how our torpedoes work.
It's but anyway, they can block Russia off pretty efficiently. And between that,
thanks, Amelia.
Yeah, between that and tariffs, Russia's probably screwed. Russia don't even want to deal with the tariffs thing, the secondary tariffs. They don't want to deal with that either. But now we're putting pressure on China that if you want to do business with the United States and Europe, you can't do business with Russia. That's the way the world works. Russia shouldn't have started a war.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Israel in a few minutes.
And
but
what are Putin's exact words about the war? He said, "I would never have started this war if
Trump wasn't president."
If Biden wasn't president, he would have never done it.
Putin's biggest problem right now is he's got to find a way to save face to end this war. And I don't think in the beginning, I think Trump was willing to let him have all the territory. I don't think Trump's willing to let him have all the territory.
Yeah,
I think what they should do is force Russia to give back the taken territory and lease Crimea to them. Don't let them have it, but lease it to them, just like the Brits leased Hong Kong, and say, "Hey, look, we'll lease it to you for 200 years." And then we'll go from there. Yeah, for
$1 million a month or whatever the hell they want to charge it for,
Well,
something reasonable.
Putin wants it because it's the only way to get to the Black Sea. That's why they want it. They need to be able to park ships in.
It's one way for them to get out to other seas and water bodies, because otherwise they're essentially landlocked. Otherwise they have to cut through ice. Although as far as Navy vessels that can cut ice, the Russians are far superior in that technology on the sea.
Yeah, they got some great.
They have some very, very strong.
But there comes a point even they can't.
Destroyer size vehicle, isn't it? These kind of things.
Yeah, weighs as much as an aircraft carrier. Yeah,
they're huge.
It's well, they kind of pound down on ice, but there comes a point even they can't break the ice. So Russia's. Besides that, if you've got your ships lined up behind an iceberg, it's easy pickings.
Well, because you have to go single file. It's like the Sand People in Star Wars.
Well, it's like watching all these tank brigades in Russia. Going into Kiev. I mean, going into Kiev, into Ukraine, just getting the shit blown out of them. What you mean? Are we gonna? Oh, you mean you think? No, we're not giving the Ukraine A1s. No, we're not. We're not giving them no Averys. We might go find some other crappy tanks we got, but we're not giving them no Averys. Well, for the simple fact we can't have Russia getting hold to one of them. No. But we've given permission. I think it was Poland wants to give them 75 Panthers, and Germany wants to give them like 50. Yeah, they can get a good tank brigade going on. But Ukraine's going on drone technology. That's how they want to fight this war, is strictly with drones. And that's fine, but that's not going to get them in.
If you look at the World War previous, the most recent World War that happened, tanks were what won Germany the bulk of Europe. And if he hadn't attacked St. Petersburg in winter, this stupid idiot, first of all, he had an alliance with them, but with tanks alone, he was able to just basically roll over almost all of Europe, and only half of France survived.
Yeah, well, he went way down in the desert. I mean, he was in Africa, Egypt. I mean, he's rolling all over everything.
Well, he
The
had
Panzers was a bad beast of a tank, man.
Yeah, he needed those top northern fields of Algeria and northern Africa, Egypt and whatnot, to get gasoline to fuel his Wehrmacht, his war machines.
Chris, the American tank wasn't as good as the German tank, but for every one tank they had, we had 5.
Yeah,
them women at home were building tanks like they were building tanks and bombers. No, the women were building them. There were no men to build them. That was women building all that shit.
Riveter, look it up. It's a real thing.
They were building tanks. They were building jets.
17 and higher were over in Europe or Japan fighting.
Yes, it was all our men were fighting. Remember, we didn't have the population we have today. It's and think about this. 53 million people died in this war. 53
and also
million.
we were still recovering from World War I. The effects of World War I had only,
That's
World War I ended, 1921? So it's only 15, 20 years after that. Most of these people were kids at the end of or during World War I. So they've known war their whole lives.
And World War I was the first time
our
U.S.
grandparents, yours and my grandparents, by the way.
But World War I was the first time U.S. actually showed it could be a dominant country. Before that, we weren't taken serious. No, we weren't.
Yeah.
We remember
because we kicked their ass.
Nation trying to build ourselves up. We weren't the Brits. We weren't the French. We weren't none of that. But World War I showed that we could do it. And World War II showed that not only could we do it, we could mass produce in a way that nobody even realized. Now, the only other country today that could do that.
War also noticed that we were also very capable mariners by making some of the best naval vessels that ever were on the sea, including ones made out of pure iron and wood, like the Constitution and the Enterprise, which are still floating today.
Yep.
Boats we made for the Revolutionary War, 1776. These boats were made sometime during that time frame and are still afloat.
Yeah,
think about that.
What do you mean, battleships, Jimmy? You can go see the USS Alabama. It's parked in Alabama. Been there for bunch of years. It's parked in great shape. It looks like the day it was. It looks like the day it was in
as well.
Yeah. Oh no, you're talking about the USS Enterprise. The carrier's been destroyed.
I'm talking the wooden.
I know what you're talking about. He was asking me about the carrier. No, the Enterprise, the carrier has been decommissioned and taken apart. Yes.
Decommed and.
If all this bullshit would have started sooner, they would have left it alone. But see, Nimitz was on its way to be decommissioned. And they decided to keep it. Yes. And they did some upgrades on it too. So,
proper Navy term is refitted. It was refitted.
True. So on for the captain, that he has two rooms. He's got the captain's got a room right next to the tower, the conning tower, where he does all of his stuff at. And then he has another room further down where he can relax. Then he has his own private bedroom, which of course the kitchen has to cater to whenever he wants to eat. They take good care of the captain because he's always on duty practically.
He's 24/7.
He's got a number one just like you'd see on Enterprise, but still, when it comes to certain things, only the captain can make that.
And depending on the captain or the commanding officer could be a commander. Don't have to be a captain rank. They may call him XO for executive officer rather than the number one's more of a British Navy term.
Well, a lot of times that's what he is, XO. And they're usually they're not going to be below a commander's rank, but they tried to do so. If it's a ship like a regular ship, it can be a lieutenant commander, but on the carrier, it's always a commander, and then you have full blood captain, and then certain ships like I don't know what. See, the Nimitz was a flagship. Now. I don't know if it's still a flagship today. I imagine one of the George Washington class, or now the whatever they call the Bush class.
Well, the class vessel of any type of vehicle, depending on what it is. Like we were talking about the Ohio class submarine. The USS Ohio is the lead submarine or the flagship of that class of those types of submarines. I think that's the best way to say it.
Well, Carly, the flagship is usually the first one made and usually the most powerful one on float, and then. As ships go on and things get built and things changes, those change.
Yeah, they get more powerful. They get
I don't think the
refitted.
Nimitz is a flagship. I mean, I'd have to look it up because it was on its
Well,
way
it's
to being
definitely a class
decommissioned.
vehicle. It's because it's Nimitz
It
class.
was when I served on it. It was the flagship of whatever fleet I was in. There was
Absolutely.
7th Fleet, Pacific Fleet. Well, no, we had 7 fleets. Now I think we have 3. Might be 4, but I think it's 3.
Well, we have 3. We have what you call the Atlantic Command, the Pacific Command, and the Drone Command.
Yeah. Well, he's talking about by number. So when I was in, we still had all 7 fleets, and I served on.
Oh,
all
I gotta see what
Nimitz.
you mean. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's well, no, it's just different. They do it different ways, but now we don't have as many ships as we used to have, and well, we have started building again.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, crazy Joe Biden did commission, I think, 15 ships, and I think Trump's commissioning like 35 or 40. So if that stays true to nature, let me tell you what, people, China builds ships like shit. Them some bitches can build some ships. They got some serious shipbuilding
capacity to make like pretty much copy anything that we give. It's like, here, I want 1 million of this, and I want it, in 2 months, and they'll do it in 2 months.
So here's a piece of history for y'all. The Japanese have aircraft carriers, but they're not called aircraft carriers. They're called battleships or destroyers. So the reason why is when the war ended, they could only have a peacekeeping force. Okay, that's it. So what they did is they turned the carriers where they could, the decks could fold and open and have all kind of stuff on them. So they were considered I think they were considered a destroyer, but they could still fold up and land planes on them. And that's why they did it that way, because under the terms of the treaty, they couldn't have aircraft carriers. It was a no-no. So now we've extended their thing to, I forgot what they call it, peacekeeping force plus something else.
They have a minor Air Force, then they have their own Coast Guard, which was trained by our Navy.
Yeah, well, now they got a Navy. Badass. Yeah, but now they got a Navy, but they still don't. And now they got at least one full carrier, but they still don't call it an aircraft carrier. It's a game, because Germany and Japan started 2 world wars. Well, Germany started 2. Japan got into 1.
Battle of Midway is probably because they don't want to call it a carrier, because they came at us after Midway, or not after Midway, after Pearl Harbor, and then Battle of Coral Sea. They came at us with their entire northern fleet, the entire Royal Japanese Naval Northern Fleet came at the Midway Island, which is like 4,000 miles from California. I mean, not far from California at all. And they thought all of our carriers had been sunk at Coral Sea. They were wrong. One almost was. The other 2 were extremely beaten up, but all 3 of our carriers met all 4 of their carriers and surprised the living shit out of them. And we sunk 4 of their capital ships, including 2 large carriers, a destroyer, and a whole bunch of smaller minor ships. It was
Jimmy, you're thinking of the Battle of Midway. That's a whole different battle, Jimmy. Yeah. He's talking about a different battle. You're talking about a different battle. Battle Midway was much different. Yeah, the Battle Midway could have went the other way. Let me tell you what, it was all because of them. What they call them strawberry planes.
If Yorktown didn't get there on time, it limped its way there from Coral Sea. If it hadn't got there on time, we probably would. And it was sunk there. We had to actually scuttle it after the battle 2 days later.
Yeah, well, no. Okay, Christopher, you think something? Okay, all 4 of our carriers actually survived, but the Yorktown, the whole entire deck was blown off of it. The whole top deck was blown off, and they were thinking about bringing it home, but then they decided not to. So it's not considered, when we sink it, it's not considered a sunk. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. It's just the way they do things.
Yeah, it's called a scuttle.
Yeah, so we put it under, and it was, just bringing it home. They weren't going to refit it. It was an old ship to start off with, but the only reason we really won is because our planes found their ships before their ships found us.
Our planes found their ships with their planes being refitted from bombs to torpedo, or from torpedoes to bombs, so they could go back and attack Midway again, because they didn't take out the runway. And so what happened was, when we caught that, all it took was 1 bomb on one of those carrier decks, and
believe it or not, some of our pilots went kamikaze on their asses.
Yes, they did.
Yes, a few of our pilots said, "Look, you want to play kamikaze? We can do that too." and crashed right smack in the middle of the
This is
deck.
actually this is 1942, Joe. This is before kamikazeism.
Oh, yeah, it is before kamikaze. Yeah,
Way
just tell you.
before.
Well, we gave him the damn idea. Then that's
We
what
did it
happened.
first.
Yeah,
Isn't
we
that
gave him the
fucked up?
idea. Oh no,
Pardon
we
my
were
French.
crazy.
We did it first.
That was a close thing. Japan could have never invaded the United States. They simply didn't have the people to do it.
They have the manpower.
But
They had a huge navy, but they did not.
But if
have
they
a
would have
huge
took out our
army.
fleet, they would have owned the oceans,
and
and
well,
that would have made life much harder on us because they could have just sailed around blowing up ship all the time. But no, and actually it was funny because the one plane flew over and didn't see it at first, and when he was turning back to go back, he seen them, and that's when he realized what was going on. Japan still had not seen our plane yet. Matter of fact, they didn't see the planes until ours came bombing the living shit out of them, and then they got planes off. Well, the few planes they could get off.
you're talking about was it Darcy's raid?
Yeah, they. No, I'm talking about Midway. Because they didn't see that plane when we spotted them. They didn't know we knew where they were. They still didn't know. And when they got back, the captain said, "You cannot call it into command. They don't know where we are." So we launched everything we had, every plane, every piece of crap, everything we had, we put in the air. And still that wasn't enough to take them all out because they did manage to get planes off the deck and towards us. But, after that, it was pretty much, by the time we did our second round, they were pretty much done for. We didn't sink all the ships. We just tore their carriers to shit and back.
We sank their two biggest carriers, their two smallest carriers, their two largest destroyers, and like several other.
Their fleet was pretty much done for after
the
that.
word that's been used. It was we sank a lot. It's
It was the turning point in the war. No, for us because we lost a lot at Pearl Harbor. We lost a lot thank God we didn't have any carriers in the damn harbor at the time.
They were out doing maneuvers on the day.
But let me tell you what, because of that, we no longer park all of our planes in one place anymore. So
or all of our carriers, or destroyers.
So when a carrier's coming into port, they're only allowed to be one in a port at any time, and its jets cannot be anywhere around that part. They put them in other airports away from the thing. That way, if somebody's coming in, they can launch up and go take them out. Because what happened at Midway, at Pearl Harbor, our planes were just sitting there. They just went. I think they got two planes off the ground and they killed all the rest of them. And the bitch part was we had radar.
Other air bases that did get more than a few planes up, but for essentially the most part is that
they're just talking about the carrier planes. All the carrier planes were destroyed.
Oh yeah, but still we had some that got up, and the thing is that we were expecting a fleet of bombers to come in from California, and these planes were coming in, and the radar guys thought that's what they were, but they were coming from the west, not the east. California be to the east.
They should have reported that regardless, but they didn't. So
yeah,
adios amigos. No, now it's a rule; everything gets reported. But we did change our strategies a lot because of that one. No more keeping all these ships parked in there. Oh, well, I remember we were going to go park in Hawaii, and because we were going to get shore leave in Hawaii, so we're cruising along. I'm all happy. Never been to Hawaii before. Yeah, I'm going to have some fun. And we got there, and there was 5 ships in the harbor, so we were not allowed to come in. Plus, the guy said something about we could only keep X amount of planes on Hawaii because it was so small. Everything else would have to go to California. And the captain didn't feel comfortable with our fighter jets being parked in California. He wasn't worried about them getting blown up. Just getting to us, getting to us would have took a little bit of time. So carrier captains like to know they'll usually park the planes within 300 or 400 miles in each direction because it sounds like a lot, but for a jet like that, that's just a couple of minutes. And they like to know where their jets are. Carrier commanders just like to know where their jets are.
Well, they also have to have
They're funny about it. But anyway, so now Putin and Trump are going to meet in Alaska. We need to find out the details. I'm thinking, what's that, Jackie? No.
It's the start of a new bromance.
Trump needs to be a dick here. That's all I can say. I guess it's a bad way of saying it, but he needs to be a dick here. He needs to be like, look. Look, dude, you need to give back the territories. If I was Trump, I would just tell him, look. either do what I'm asking you, or we're going to start giving the Ukraine not just weapons, but we're going to start giving them soldiers. We're going to have NATO get involved, and your ass is going to be in a sling, buddy.
Your ass is new mown grass, and
he needs to tell him we're not scared of your nukes. We can shoot them down. You want to try them? Go ahead and see what happens.
He's going to knock them down with his satellites. So anything that leaves Russian airspace for outer space will be intercepted, hopefully by one of how many thousands? 14,000.
I don't know. He's got a lot up there. So no, I don't think he's quite to that yet. But he's got a lot. No, he already said he would crash him right into the side of the missile and send it sailing into space. Yeah, he told Putin this.
It's
he
like
told Putin, don't get froggy because I'll take
that. Except in this case, the skeet hits the bullet.
Yeah, and then he told Putin, I can produce satellites at a much faster rate and rockets than you can. So, he was being honest with the man. So I don't know. Putin's got to understand now that he doesn't hold the cards here. He might have the cards with the Ukraine, but he doesn't with us or with anybody else for that matter. They're not the world power they used to be when they were the Soviet Union now.
And let's face it, both Putin and Zelensky are dicks.
Yeah, they both need to go.
Yeah,
they both need to go. Dicks. Well, no, the guy in Belarus is not. I think he's stepping down instead of running for this next election. So they're all saying they'll have a free society again. They may kick Russia out.
Yeah, good for them. Good luck, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Russia can't invade. Obviously, Russia can't even take the Ukraine. So what are they going to do? Go after Belarus too? I'm not thinking that's a good idea. Well, and Poland, for some reason, Poland wants to go put troops on the ground. Poland said they'll send 10,000.
I think Germany does too.
Yeah, Germany said they'd send 10,000 too. Well, because North Korea did. They're figuring if North Korea did, why can't we?
Why the hell not? Right?
And then stupid ass Germans. The first thing the German could, we need to go after North Korea. He said, let us send about 30,000 troops in North Korea. And I'm thinking, okay, I guess we could do that. We're not going to do that. We're not putting troops anywhere. Trump does not want any of our people on the ground anywhere. He just doesn't. He said no American soldiers need to die over wars that have nothing to do with us.
He's like LBJ in respect. I will not send American boys to do what Asian boys should be doing for themselves.
Yes, we don't need
asshole Texas voice.
Besides, we got enough weapons that we can kill you wherever you are. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
We have bullets to turn corners. Joe.
Personally, I think what we need to do is Tehran? I think we need to call Tehran and say, look, we're going to give you all 48 hours to get out of your city because we're fixing to drop about 2,000 bombs on top of your city. You're going to have to find somewhere else to live because it ain't going to be there no more.
Mm-hmm.
And just lay it to waste. Not just regular bombs. Just regular bombs because they keep shooting at Israel. That's getting to be aggravating. And I was arguing with these people about Israel today. So the guy's like, we need to put the screws in Israel. They need to. I'm like, look, people. First off, Israel tried this 20 years ago. They got everybody out. They stopped halfway through the war and said, okay, Palestine, take care of yourself. Your enclave is yours. Leave us alone. Here we are 20 years later. They went and murdered some babies, chopped their heads off, stomped their skulls on the ground, shot a bunch of teenagers.
Put them on fire first and then stomp them out.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, so you can't leave it happen again. So if you stop right here, Hamas will just rebuild. Iran will help all these people rebuild, and we'll be right back where we started from. No, Israel needs to take command of Palestine, and that's just the way it needs to be. Now, they need to clear it and make sure there's nobody left in there. Now, once they do that, they want to hand it over to an Arab government. I don't know what government would take this on.
I don't think any of them are going to, but that's what they want to do.
Well, Egypt kind of talked about it a little bit if they paid them right for it.
I like your idea. I've had your idea since I was a senior in high school, or even earlier. I went to high school in 1980 to 84, and I've had this idea because it's always been this way. I mean, we talked about it in history all throughout high school, and I'm like, just give everybody in the region. Well, you gave them 48 hours. I'd give them 30, 60. Give them a few hours. Once 30 days, get your shit out of this area. We're gonna drop bombs, and then once it's done, my idea is nuclear bombs. You wait 8,000
because then we get plugged.
Giant free theme park for the whole world. It's free to go there, free to stay there overnight, and then you have free rides.
Well, if we just tell the whole Middle East to get out, we layer the whole thing in nuclear weapons, it'll just become a power plant then.
Yeah.
Because it'll just put that layer of glass over the whole thing. We just plug, because it's sand, so we just plug our whatchamacallits into the glass and have free power for the next 10,000 years.
What did Sam Kinison say about sand? This is sand. What's it going to be in 1,000 years? Sand. You live in a fucking desert. Move to where the food is.
No. I mean, there has been the accords where Egypt and Saudi Arabia and a couple other countries have gotten with Israel, and they're all getting along. But how long that's going to last, I don't know.
It's the same few.
I don't give a fuck who they're murdering.
Groups do the same thing. I agree with you to destroy the whole area. I mean, it's clearly something is there that one side or the other really, really wants. Whether it's the land, I think, which that's a bullshit answer. It's sand. It's a fucking desert. There's nothing of value there.
Well, I mean, there's lots of oil there. Well, there was lots of oil there. I don't know how much is left.
It's been exploited. But the thing is that they've been fighting over this chunk of worthless land for thousands and thousands of years. There hasn't been a decade where there hasn't been peace that I know of. I'm 60 years old. I don't know any of these decades where there hasn't been fighting.
You can go back 100 years before that. There hadn't been any peace. You can go back before Christ, and there wasn't peace.
Somebody has to be the parent and go, look, when you're a kid and you and your brother are pulling on the same toy, mine. Eventually, your mom or your dad comes by and goes, mine. They take the toy and they say, you go to your room, and that's the end of it. No one hears anything anymore. This is what has to be done there. Mom is the nuclear weapon. Or if you want to use regular bombs, I don't care. But you give everybody 30, 40 days, get the fuck out, boom. Anyone who stays behind.
Well, I'm saying no matter what, Israel should drop a nuke on Iran. They should just, maybe a couple of them, and say, look, we're done with you. You keep trying to kill our people. You keep supplying this. You know what? We're not going to have this anymore. Boom, boom, boom. 3 nukes. That's the end of that. Everybody will be, but you know what? Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Sanction Israel? Go ahead and sanction them. I don't think they give a shit.
They're as big as New Jersey, and they're kicking a state that's as big as Ohio. I think it's fucking hilarious. Pardon my French.
And wait, they're fighting 3 different groups. I mean, and nobody's really giving them a hand. Why is it okay for Iran to keep attacking them every night? Nobody's going to say anything, but they're going to get all upset about the Palestinians.
Funded by a very rich oil state. Who do you think is winning this one? The little guy. I'm sorry.
In the end, there's never been a 2-state system. That was fucking dumb to start off with. You know what? So, and besides this, 50%, let me give y'all some stats, people, help y'all out. 50% of the Palestinians are actually Egyptians. Okay. And then
there's also some Jews in there too.
25% are Libya or somebody else. So what the fuck? Only 20% of them are Palestinians. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. This should all be Israeli territory. All of it. You want to live there? That's fine. We'll let you live there. But if we're going to be the ruling government, we're the Israelis. We're going to be and I would tell them, you kill one of us, we're going to kill 1,000 a year or 10,000 a year. I wouldn't play with this anymore. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
This has been going on for 80 years, 90 years since they became a state. Stop trying to kill them. Get past it already.
They won't. They keep saying, over and over.
Well, you know what? I think if you got rid of Iran, you'd get rid of 90% of the trouble.
You probably would.
Most of those other states just want to kind of chill, and especially with America now. I say just get rid of them. Take them out.
Why aren't they afraid of what? I mean, look what happened in Iraq. We blew the shit out of it twice because they got out of.
And you know what? Somebody said, well, that's because Russia and China backed them. Well, you know what? Russia and China backed Iraq, and we still wouldn't blew the living shit out of them.
Yeah. And
we found out the other day that China was sending all kind of fuel and missile parts up to, I think, 800 missiles. Fuck you, China. If I was Trump, I'd just say, look, China, if I catch you interfering again, I will consider it a fucking act of war against the United States. I will call NATO. I will get America together, and we will wipe you from the fucking face of the planet.
We can do it.
I said, your little 800 nukes don't scare us even a fucking little bit. And he needs to be like that because Xi Jinping is in so much trouble right now. He might not even have to worry about it. He might go out on his own. And given the Chinese people the right amount of energy, they don't want to be communists. So if you look at the Chinese from governors down, most of these people are elected, and probably not fair elections, but still elected. If you look at Beijing, people running around just like they do here, they're Americanized, they're Westernized. That's what they want to be. And if you could remove that government, that communist government, I think they would blossom and become just like India or any other country. I think they would blossom and become a participator in the world. And they wouldn't need all them weapons and shit. Eventually, we've got to become a one world government with one military.
I think I have
and we don't
for
need
that. I'll be right back.
Blow them bitches up. What are you saying? I just like blowing shit up. Well, I can't deny that. I do like blowing shit up. But okay, look, people. At the end of World War II, we had 2 generals go to our Congress and tell them, "Let's go ahead and nuke Moscow and just take Russia." We've already got China. Well, Japan actually had China, but we had Japan, so we had China. So at that point, we would have had almost half the world and almost half the population would have been under our control. By now, they would just be everyday Americans. I mean, they're almost everyday Americans now, except for their governments. So, I mean, we should have done it then. There comes a point when sometimes being a pussy is not the right, sorry, ladies, is not the right approach. No, it's a good thing I'm not a president. I would have dealt with Russia years ago. Oh, fuck that. I would have snuck into Russia and detonated some nukes inside of Russia. And boom, 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 boom. Nothing, there's no missiles or anything. I'd have just nuked them that way. Well, they've got, how many nukes are they missing, Jay? Like 100 or some shit? Bunch of suitcase nukes
or something like that, yeah.
All I can say is we know the Arabs ain't got them because we'd all be dead now.
I got this. This I think describes exactly how you were describing China, but this is actually about the Vietnam War. There are some, let's just say it's an R-rated show. So
all right, people, it's R-rated. Close your ears.
So if you have sensitive ears, my apologies. I didn't write the movie, but it is a good window into the 1960s.
Full Metal Jacket, one of my favorite movies.
Full Metal. I just saw it the other night. It's a good movie. Here we go.
Everybody turned up got shot. Some they buried alive.
Right. Colonel? Marine, what is that button on your body armor?
A peace symbol, sir.
Where'd you get it?
I don't remember, sir.
What is that you've got written on your helmet?
Born to kill, sir.
You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What's that supposed to be? Some kind of sick joke?
No, sir.
What is it supposed to mean?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know very much, do you?
No, sir.
You better get your head and your ass wired together or I will take a giant shit on you.
Yes, sir.
Now answer my question or you'll be standing tall before the man.
I think I was trying to suggest something about the duality of man, sir.
The what?
The duality of man, the Jungian thing, sir.
Whose side are you on, son?
Our side, sir.
Don't you love your country?
Yes, sir.
How about getting with the program? Why don't you jump on the team and come on in for the big win?
Yes, sir.
Son, all I've ever asked of my Marines is for them to obey my orders as they would the word of God. We are here to help the Vietnamese because inside every gook there is an American trying to get out. It's a hardball world, son. We've got to try to keep our heads until this peace craze blows over.
Aye, aye, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you started describing how that China wants to be westernized. I don't think every country does. I mean, I can't see why there's a problem with it. Why people
let them be westernized.
I mean, it's everything that we need. We can go purchase.
When it comes down to it, all we should do is make sure that every country has a democracy and let democracy take over. You're going to have idiots and crazy people for a while, but until you get it, well, the majority of the world is a democracy, Jimmy. Yeah. I think
every once in a while we have to have a Trump come in and clean out the fucking, the swamp people guys,
what do you mean we're at war with India? No, Mumbai actually likes Trump. He's kind of scared of Trump, actually.
Most countries are now. Look at he's stopped 3 wars already.
Trump is trying to bring peace to the world. You know what? He's gaining traction for his Nobel Peace Prize. Get that shit, man. Oh man, Trump gets a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm going to go have a party. I might have an orgasm, man. Jesus,
yeah, it's happening.
It's Russia needs to get its ass kicked. Is what needs to happen here. So I'm with them. If Russia can't give it up, I'm saying go ahead, unleash NATO on their ass, unleash about 500,000 troops, and say, okay, you asked for this, and if you see them start using nukes, we'll just send in, bomb the shit out of their silos. We know where their silos are. We don't know where those little roving nukes are. They go, well, we know where most of them are, but they move around a lot. But those we can probably shoot down. Remember, it's not like the old days. So Europe has Patriot stuff all over the place. We've been getting missiles put everywhere for decades. Look at Israel. How many they got? Israel shooting down 80% of everything that comes in. They shoot 80% of the nukes going out down. The jets take some more of them down. Elon takes some more of them down. And anything that gets through, we take down coming on reentry. I don't think he has the power he thinks he has anymore. But he can't stop our nukes. Oh, fuck no. If we leave 1,600 nukes on him, that's pretty much the end of the northern hemisphere, really.
Tungsten rods. You can't even detect them coming in. They're
Oh, yeah. The rod that
drop out.
Thor's hammer, the thing from heaven, whatever. They call all kind of different names. There's a lot of shit going on. North Korea, I think, should be the first one taken out. Fuck China. I think we should hit North Korea from 4 different ways and reunite
the country.
Yeah. Just like Vietnam got reunited under communism. I think they need, and for some reason they're slipping out of communism.
Yeah,
they're trying to slip out of communism in Vietnam. It's kind of weird.
Well, because Vietnam is now a democracy. I mean, it's a corrupt as shit government, but it's
So I say we take North Korea, you reunite it with South Korea, and say fuck this. Oh no, we should hang Kim Jong Un by his nuts. Oh yes, we should make it, and this way dictators around, because Russia's fucked up. Russia is a democracy, but for some reason they can't get rid of Putin. No, they just can't.
I think the war crimes that he's committed, Kim Jong Un in Korea, are enough that he can be summarily executed in the streets if captured by military.
I don't. You know what I think? I think will happen. I think they'll just shoot him whenever they fucking find him.
That's what I'm talking about. Summary execution. So
we're not getting into Bin Laden. I don't. The Bin Laden thing was a joke. I don't know. Nobody killed Bin Laden. I don't know where the fuck Bin Laden is. He's still working for the CIA somewhere. Probably had some kind of facelift or something.
Oh, he probably shaves every day. I bet you there's not a trace of a lick of any kind of.
Don't forget it, people. We trained Bin Laden. Not just that. We trained Bin Laden. We also trained his name. We also trained what's his name from Iraq. We trained both them people.
Yeah, almost all the terrorist people, by the way, that are out there right now operating, got their military training in some way, form, or fashion from U.S. funds or military.
Maybe. So Bin Laden was actually used to fight the Russians in Afghanistan, who ran him out. He just got all big with himself after he did that. He went and started killing other people. The Twin Towers, I'm iffy-skiffy about the Twin Towers.
He tried twice. I mean, come on. The gentleman, listen to this. I have a good friend. I went to art school. My friend went to art school. He's an actual licensed architect. It takes a lot to get this. And we talked about, especially after the towers came down. But we talked about Bin Laden. And Bin Laden went to, I don't remember which school, but an accredited school for architecture. He learned how to build buildings. And my friend said, if he learned how to build buildings, he knows how to unbuild buildings. And
we need fucking 2 PhDs. The terrorist guy had 2 PhDs, people.
Yes. And one of them in like building engineering. So if he wanted that building to come out the first time, it would have. He wasn't involved in, I don't think, in any one of them. They just wanted to blame him for it so they could try and kill him because he was no longer under their control.
Mike, you blame George Bush. No, this happened long before George Bush. Whatever was going on there, the plan was before Bush. Well, because this is the reason why they forced all the agencies to talk to each other now, which has made things really weird. They said, they had different groups said that we had heard things. This is under Clinton. Mm-hmm. Clinton was president and they had heard things, but Clinton said no, and they didn't allow all the agencies to talk to each other. The agencies would have been talking. It might have been prevented if that's what was going on. But there was lots of reasons to blow them buildings up for other people. So, like we were talking about the collapse of the building where Epstein lived. So, a week before they were going in to search Epstein's apartment, the building collapsed and destroyed everything in the apartment. Killed a lot of people. That sounds a little hunky donkey fishy to me.
Yeah, and since it's a communal building, like an apartment complex, there's no way to verify through the rubble whose stuff was in what apartment.
Yeah. Well, most of it was melted or destroyed anyway from fire. So
If that didn't happen,
crushed.
yeah, anything that was found, it still couldn't be verified as to which contents of which room it came from.
Yes, it was kind of pathetic, but we don't know. What do you mean? Who's Carney? Oh, Carney's the ruler of Canada. Yeah, I've been wanting to shove a nuke up his ass since he got in office.
He's the liberal leader of Canada.
I think we should use a low yield tactical nuke on his ass. Wherever he's be driving in his little car one day. Whoop,
just send Popeye to sock him in the face, and he'll start boo-hoo-hooing and crying.
I'm telling you, we need to take him out. We just need to say it was a terrorist attack and take him out. Oh yeah, we need to say it was an Iranian terrorist attack. Take Carney out, and that'll give us an excuse to, the Canadians will come ask the United States to go take out. Look, they killed our ruler. Did they? Oh, we're gonna go kill some Iranians for you. That sounds good to me.
Here's Trump's final pie in the eye, kind of, flick it to the Democrats on his way out as president. He's going to annex Canada from the new king, Harry, once he gets installed.
Harry, were you trying to
Philip?
get
Philip. Yeah, Philip. And then he's going to fire Carney and install himself as president of Canada, while his buddy Vance becomes president of the United States, and they're going to have a big old president of the Northern American States Party.
We need to annex Canada and just be done with it. I don't know why we need Canada and Mexico. We need to unite the North American.
Where is most of our army? The ones that aren't in Europe. Where's the rest of our army?
In Canada, probably.
There you go.
Well, Canada keeps inviting the fucking commies over there. They keep inviting the Chinese over. What's his name? Pink Shorts kept inviting Chinese over to come fight in the winter, and they were bringing arms, and then Trump had a fucking fit about it, so they couldn't bring any more arms. They had to send the arms back, but they still left the troops there. Well, they're gone now, but I mean, what the man? You can't be letting Chinese troops into your country. You want us to kill somebody, including you? I mean, that's just ignorant. That should have been grounds right there for taking the country.
Well, yeah,
we got them ghost fleets parked up there. 2 of them now.
I think they run out of Alaska.
There's one ghost parked somewhere way up at the top of Canada in some shit in harbor where there's no people around at all. I've never even heard of this place. And I think the other one's out on the East Coast somewhere, probably around Shag Harbor somewhere. But
maybe
the big one they're talking about is up there in the north somewhere, just below where the ice freezes up. Jackie, I've never been to Canada. How the fuck am I supposed to know?
I've been to Canada once. I've been to Toronto and Niagara Falls.
I can't speak Canadian. What do you mean? Y'all dumbasses. That was too good. No, I can't speak Canadian. No, especially if you down there in Quebec, man. Them people
speak English, and
they speak the Queen's English or some crap.
Yeah, and French Canadian.
But I might. Oh, that's Australian. Sorry, wrong accent. What do you mean, Aussies loves? We got them building 10 submarines. 10. Wait, they're gonna belong to Australia. They're not even ours. We commissioned 10 sub. I don't even want to know what kind of submarines they are. Hey, Mish. No, I don't want to know. Hey, where's Heidi? I ain't seen Heidi tonight.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah.
Heidi, where you hiding at? And you mean that guy Pat? I don't know who Sparky is. Somebody sent me a video about Sparky. I guess they were having some kind of. Well, Heidi should come talk to me about it. I don't let nobody pick on my friends. I don't know who the guy is. He didn't, he never said anything to me, so I can't be mean to him. It's well, I don't like anybody picking on my friends, but somebody would have to tell me the whole story and stuff, and things like that. And I don't just hate on people without knowing who they are. No, that's not how I do things. Nah. And anybody who endorses a network, I'm always happy to meet. That's one of the reasons why I love Heidi so much. But I heard this guy endorse a network too, so I don't know. Nobody's told me the truth. I mean, nobody's told me the story, I guess is what I should say. Somebody told me he's one of Sean's friends. Sean Kelly. I don't know. But all I know is I miss my friend Heidi. I'm glad my friend Amelia's here, though. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, she's sexy, baby. But she got an old man at home, so you might as well get that out of your little head. There's some dirty-minded people come over in this room sometimes. It's yes, and I don't know what's wrong with you people.
Good
No, so
Lord.
anyway, we can finish that with Trump because we know he's going to Alaska to meet Putin. I guess we're going to have some kind of big government thing there to protect our damn president. It's I don't trust Putin as far as I can throw the little skinny bastard. And for somebody who was dying of cancer, he sure seemed to be living pretty good. You mean Cuba? I don't know why we haven't annexed Cuba. Fuck Russia. Russia ain't going to tell us nothing about it. They're over there. You know what? Since Russia's over there fighting with the Ukraine, we should go over there and take Cuba. We really should. I would bet you money if the president called up the leader of Cuba, who is Raul Castro right now, who's so old that he can't see his dick anymore, and said, look, Raul, we're going to give you a chance to come be a commonwealth like Puerto Rico, or we're going to blow your fucking ass off the face of the planet. Which one do you want? I think he would take the latter of the two. Besides, his granddaughter is going to probably take over in a few years either, and she wants to be part of America. So we might as well make them a commonwealth. They're inside of our freaking trade waters. They're 75 miles off the coast of Cuba. I mean, the Keys. They're inside of our waters. You got 200 miles. So this is a weird thing. You got 75 miles, and then you got 200 miles. So the 200-mile international trade, whatever it is, Cuba's inside of that. So technically, they're ours anyway. And if we would take them, that would mean that Haiti and some other islands would also be inside of ours. And actually, if we took them, we would own the entire front of the Gulf. We could control anything coming in and out the Gulf. Well, there's been Russian subs found in the Gulf a couple of times. Shit, one time they fuckers ran into each other. The wolf pack was tracking them down. Somebody made a crazy Ivan, and the one went the wrong way. And boof! Oh, man. American subs, because they're so good at tracking things, every now and then they fuck up and run into somebody. Oh, it's our fault because we're up their ass so close they don't even know we're there.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what the Russian commander was saying. We didn't know they were there, or we wouldn't have made the turn. We're really good at tracking things. That's what we like to do. We like to know, well, everybody is underwater. That way, if we need to take them out.
We also have some of the best proven underwater tactics of any naval vessels. And you can see some, if anyone watches Hunt for Red October, that you can see some of them in there. And it's stupid because they're one of the tactics that our Los Angeles class attack captains were trained at doing in Annapolis and other places was if a missile or not a missile, if a torpedo was launched at them, they were to turn and face the torpedo and go full speed towards it. And the reasoning for that is most torpedoes are launched with full safeties on. When you launch a torpedo, there are several pins that keep the ordnance from being active, and you attach these pins to something. And when the torpedo launches, those pins are pulled out, and it becomes active. But some captains, pull them before they load the torpedo, which is stupid. But anyway, once the torpedo becomes active, it's usually many feet, thousands of feet away from the boat. Keep it safe.
Yeah, so it doesn't hurt there.
Doesn't hurt you
because they can actually turn around and go after the sub that shot it. Torpedoes aren't the smartest thing in the world. So if you launch a torpedo and say you're 2,500 feet from a ship or another sub, and you haven't left the safeties on, it could turn around and come after you. Yeah. Especially if the ship it's going after is quieter. It's a good chance it might turn. Yeah. And by speeding up, you get there before the safety disengages and the torpedo is just numb. They'll bounce off the sub and go somewhere else. It's a true technique, and it's hard to get around that because they have such large yields on the heads of those torpedoes because they're trying to take out a submarine.
Well, and they're so noisy that we can detect them right away. It's as soon as they come out of the tubes, like boom. That we know exactly where that sub is for one, and for two, which direction to turn.
No, there's countermeasures for torpedoes, but they would rather not do it that way. They would rather speed up for two reasons. One, as they're speeding up, they know you're going to probably be safe from that torpedo. Two, they can launch a torpedo of their own Instead of keep going straight, they can just bend to the right or left. And as they're pulling away, that torpedo's closing in. Boom, it's gone and over with. And a U.S. sub will take the risk of an implosion versus not. So, well, our subs are built a little thicker, so they can take a little bit more damage. Well, just because a sub gets hit by a torpedo doesn't mean
the other part of the tactic is you also close on the sub that just shot at you. So
yeah, well, that's what they're doing. They're closing in.
Close the distance on the torpedo that's coming at you before its radar or sonar turn on. You go past it. It turns on after you've passed it. You shoot at its submarine. It has to try to avoid your torpedoes, and in so doing, its torpedo comes around and finds it. And those tactics actually do work. Get killed by your own freaking torpedo because you didn't.
And it's happened to them too.
Yeah.
It happened to a couple of subs. So it's just something you got to be careful with. No, we're going to get into that in a minute. But so getting back to Israel for a few minutes, I understand why you people are upset because there's 20,000 people been killed or 60,000 people have been killed, and it
remember who started it.
But you know what? So think about this. The Israelis are the first warring nation to ever do this. So they're at war with them, but they're feeding them and helping them. 90,000 tons of food so far. There is no warring nation in the history of war that has ever done this before.
And who's stealing the food and help?
Hamas.
And selling it back.
And then we found out that they said that so if you watch international news, they're saying, oh, the Israelis are bombing them out of existence. Well, we found out now the Israelis are dropping pamphlets 5 days before they go in and bomb. But they found that too, that all the buildings are being mined. So when they're going in, they're detonating the mines to keep from, killing Israeli soldiers. This is Hamas. But for some reason, the international news seems to have a problem reporting this. And the UN is fucking useless. The UN has been useless for, 30 years, 40 years. They're just useless. And besides, they always put somebody in control that's anti-American.
Or anti-Semitic.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. America come with the best plan in the world. Russia and China both have veto votes. So they can veto it. I mean, so does America. They can veto it too. So nothing ever gets done. It's a constant veto this, veto that, veto this. It's ineffective piece of shit is what it is. And it needs to be redesigned or redone or something. And it needs to recognize Taiwan as a country. So,
well, I mean, if they're gonna recognize Palestine, why not recognize Taiwan?
So the Germans and the Filipinos said they do recognize Taiwan as a country and would not tolerate China invading Taiwan. Sent a letter to Xi Jinping telling him so. And believe it or not, the Philippines have a decent little navy out there, so, and lots of missiles to drop on all of the ships that Russia, that China runs up through there.
Extremely large naval presence in the Philippines.
Yeah, we have, but they're talking about their own because it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get involved. Well, Carolyn, I mean, I don't like seeing people getting killed either, but I'm with Israel on this. We cannot stop this. Two things need to happen. All of Hamas and all of the game players in Palestine needs to be taken out. And wait, just so you know this, the Palestinians have started fighting with the Israelis because now they see a chance to get rid of Hamas. Because remember, people, before we even get into this any further, Palestinians could have took out Hamas and the other people there anytime they wanted to, because, I mean, there's 2 million of them and, I don't know, a few hundred of Hamas people. They could have, they would have lost people, but they could have took them out, but they didn't. So they've been helping them hide them in schools, hide them in churches, hide them in hospitals. So as soon as that happened, somebody from Palestine should have contacted the Israelis and say, hey, look, we know where they are. And the Israelis should have came in and said, okay, y'all get out here. We're going to go in and kill these people, which they've done on a couple of occasions. But it doesn't matter. Even with all of that, Iran needs to go. It's not going to make any difference at all if we don't kill out Iran. And I think Iran needs to go. Personally, I think that Israel needs to finish its job with the Palestinians, get all that locked down, and go ahead and finish its war with Iran. Well, right now, they're just lobbing missiles at each other. Well, Israel controls all the airspace over Iran, all of it.
Yeah, they've got a pretty substantial jet air force that's courtesy of America.
That's
General
courtesy.
Dynamics
They actually have some F-35s as well. So
Oh, they got those now too. Who did that?
yeah,
That's
we
Northrop
gave some
Grumman,
F-35. I don't know how many we gave. I think it was like 35 or something. We gave them some.
That's Northrop Grumman. The F-14s are General Dynamics.
Yeah. I think they were flying F-16s, F-15s, and now F-30. I think, because I don't keep well, they got some of their own jets, and they bought some jets from Europe. Well, America's not the only people that sell jets.
They have a few French jets, and I think they might have some Russian MiGs.
It's who knows, people. They got look, they took on 7 countries in one. Expanded their territory in one. I mean, 7 countries, including Egypt, was one of them. The Israelis they're fight. You know what? Because this is something I said the United States should have done from day one. So, in order to be a citizen of Israel, you have to serve 2 years in the military, men or women. Doesn't matter what sex you are. You have to serve 2 years. So, the United States should be the same
before
way.
you're 21 and after you turn 18.
Yeah. So, in the United States, it should be the same way. In order to be a citizen of the United States, you should have to serve at least 2 years in the military, or you don't apply for any benefits. Well, number one, it makes the whole nation, all 380 million of us, a fighting force. It also teaches you a lot of other things. Being in the military teaches you a lot: camaraderie, teamwork. You know, I mean, our country's pretty solid. Work ethic, yes, it does.
I can tell you that for sure. Every military guy I've ever worked with,
it should just be a rule that, look, you want to be a citizen. If you want to like get your Social Security and all this other stuff, then you have to serve 2 years. And it shouldn't matter what age. I mean, you can be 18, 20, up to 30. You should be able to serve.
Yeah.
No, it's a good. Well, you know what?
As far as recruitment goes, with our military, the U.S. Navy, I think, is the second highest. They recruit up to age 37, and the U.S. Air Force recruits men and women up to age 38.
And in a war crisis, they can take you up to 55. Yes.
Which puts me out of the running, people.
Yeah, it puts me out of running too. Yes, it's but I serve, so well. No, see, someone like me, they still might pull in because of my degrees in advanced avionics and electronics. It's what's that, Chris? But it doesn't matter. I did serve special forces, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to put me in there. I'm too old. Unless they're going to give me some laser weapons, then we can talk. But no, but they might put me back in advanced avionics, electronics, because I keep up with the tech even today. And electronics is still kind of basic electronics. Working a motherboard is working a motherboard. Doesn't matter how advanced it is or how advanced the chip is. You still take the chip, you still plop it in a little hole. And the Navy didn't do it like that anyway. So if you had a resistor or something burn out on a motherboard, a diode or something, you didn't go in there and change the diode. You pulled the board, you slipped another board in. It was plug and play. Even back when I was in it, it's even better now how plugs and play. Well, somebody's going to get that board and either fix it or trash it. But when you're in the heat, oh no, you're not working. I'm not going to go find some diode or resistor, sit there with my fucking instruments, get my O-scope out, find out what the hell's going on. You can't do that on a carrier deck. You'll have to get your ass killed. No, you got to be able to get that plane up and running. So you go, whoosh, 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 and boom, she's done. You close the doors, close everything, and put the am I going to get in trouble for this? The EMP and shield back on and let it go. Yeah, the Navy jets have had EMP shields for a long time. I got censured for that once, but I think it's okay to talk about it now. I hope. No, I got censured for it. They came to my house and said, Joe, you can't talk about that. Well, you can lose your clearance. And I got a class 10 clearance. I don't want to lose it. I mean, it's not like I use it. Well, I do use it every once in a while for talking to people who have got information that I'd like to know. I can't share it with y'all, but still, it's stuff I like to know. Because I get in big time trouble if I share it with y'all. I've got a couple of friends at Boeing and Lockheed. We talk all the time, and frankly, y'all would be a fucking maze if I talked about this shit. But 2 days later, I'd be in some deep dark hole at Area 51. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of my closest friends is a bigwig from Boeing, and she works at the testing wing facility. Well, the testing facility in East California. They've got a facility out there. They got this pylon. It comes out of the ground. They test their wings on and shit. But when you look at it, they've got a door that's 300 foot wide and 60 foot tall, and it rolls down and goes in. I don't know what the fuck they got down there. What are they keeping in and out of there? What the fuck comes in and out?
Yeah,
this
that's the
big
Northern
ass
California facility. They got some weird shit down there.
Yeah, so there's no telling what's in there. I've heard rumors, but I don't push on shit like that. But I used him, like with the Stevensville case. I actually used my friend, called him and said, "Hey, this is what I found, Dad." And she called me back and said, "Oh no, Joe, it was an Aurora. It was headed towards George Bush's house," and she told me all about it. And it was an Aurora too, which if I remember correctly, and I can say this, that's Mach 12. But it's supposed to be in space and out of space. Now the TR-3Bs have been clocked out at Eglin Air Force Base at Mach 12 inside the atmosphere. That's fucking smoking fast. Now the only things I know that done Mach 12 besides them is when the shuttle reentries, it does about Mach 28 to Mach 30. I know, people, when you hear that, you're like, what? And the DARPA jet, remember the DARPA space plane? It does Mach 12. Yes. These are all things that we know actually do it. No, the shuttle, because the shuttle's just falling. That's why it's going that fast. It's not got any engines on it or anything. It's just falling that fast. It's cruising in orbit, and when it deburns and comes in, I've heard it go from Mach 26 to Mach 32. That's what I've heard it's done. I could look it up for you and then probably tell you somewhere up in that thing. Because it's falling like a fucking rock. It's a very fast glider. How's that? I don't know how to explain it. But speaking of that, NASA's new space plane's up and ready. It's going to be flying. So NASA got smart finally. You know how they used to have the little heat shields on the shuttle? They've put panels on now. Big panel. So, you can take off a panel, put on a new panel. And if you lose a panel, you fucking know you lost the panel. Don't go back down. And now they can go park at the space station and fix the panels. Yes. Dream case. I think we got it. Let me see. Let me go look. Authorities, a shelter place. No, that's some other stupid shit. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's get it. Stop. Motherfucking shit sometimes. Excuse my language, people. Where am I at? There I am. Let me go find that. Let me go find this. These buttons changing around still irritates me. I'm starting to learn them now, but it still irritates me. Dream Chaser, that's its name. Let's go get it over here. And where I am again. Okay, let me bring it up. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. No, don't leave thing. Damn. Oh, is there sound on here? Let's go back and see.
Module have begun final preparations at NASA's Neil Armstrong testing facility in Ohio. The announcement of the vehicle's arrival on November 30th by creators Sierra Space marked the beginning of the last group of trials for their vehicle, which has been in development since 2010. The Neil Armstrong test facility is where NASA ensures prototype vehicles have the fortitude
I wonder where they got that name.
The rigors of space travel, from launch all the way to the heat of re-entry. The 6,400-acre site is home to some of the largest simulation equipment in the world, and it's all used to see if a new spaceship is ready for use in orbit. In the case of the Dream Chaser, the almost 30-foot-long Tenacity cargo variant will be stacked in a launch configuration, which includes the 15-foot-long Shooting Star cargo module. While connected, both vehicles will undergo environmental testing in the facility's thermal vacuum chamber, as well as a couple of rounds in the mechanical vibration facility, a simulator that subjects prototypes to forces similar to those encountered during launch. It's basically just an enormous shaker table. If the pair of spacecraft manage to survive these tests, the next step is inspections and the process of fitting the uncrewed craft into a fairing for launch. So, we are very close to seeing Dream Chaser actually fly. The original idea for Dream Chaser started even further back in 2004, long before the original shuttles had been retired. It took some years before Sierra Space even entered the picture, but once they did, they very quickly modeled the Dream Chaser concept into an updated replacement for the original shuttles. From 2012 onwards, Sierra Space and their partners got to work creating what we see today, creating test articles and conducting their own tests to get it flight ready. In that time, the team has created an extremely robust space plane with a cargo and crewed variant, thermal tiles that are lighter, stronger, and more advanced than the ones on the shuttles, and multiple modules designed to attach on the rear of the craft, and can inflate to form a huge habitation area or store more cargo. This cargo module is the Shooting Star, which can be used to transport both pressurized and non-pressurized payloads, and has deployable solar panels to provide extra power generation, which cargo missions occasionally require. Both Dream Chaser and its modules are made to fit inside a standard 5-meter fairing, a size that most conventional rockets can handle, or at least the heavy lift rockets that can actually get Dream Chaser into orbit. NASA wanted the system to work on any heavy lift rocket for redundancy, so that's why the whole thing folds up as tightly as...
But, damn it.
I have to take a vacation. Good luck. Nobody 2
Oh man, with the commercials.
All out for all of the film. Oh my.
It looks funny though.
Nobody 2, rated R, only in theaters Friday.
Didn't see the first one.
As it does. The very first flight of Dream Chaser was intended to be on the ULA's new Vulcan rocket, but delays with completing both projects caused some setbacks. Most of us are familiar with Vulcan's trouble and the Blue Origin-made BE-4 engine saga, but Dream Chaser was also a bit of a handful. Those thermal tiles are so advanced that they frankly could use their own episode to cover, but just the installation of them took years. This timing was likely as much a product of the team being unfamiliar with the new tiles as it was the complexity, but it was a major factor in the construction time of the first vehicle called Tenacity. Luckily, this slowdown made it possible to almost perfectly line up the first launches of both Vulcan and Dream Chaser, with Vulcan's first launch due to happen around January 8th after a delay caused by ground system malfunctions. The plan for this first launch is that it will take place between January and March of 2024 and will be performing a cargo run. Dream Chaser and its Shooting Star module will be mounted on the new Centaur upper stage of a Vulcan rocket and launched into an orbit that intersects with the International Space Station. After a very careful 6-hour approach, cargo will be exchanged, and the vehicles will detach and head back to the planet, with Dream Chaser gliding back to Kennedy Space Center and landing on the runway there, and Shooting Star burning up in the atmosphere with its payload of ISS garbage. Currently, the Shooting Star is made to be expendable in this way, and while the company is working on an inflatable heat shield that could one day allow for the Shooting Star to parachute safely back to the Earth for reuse, Sierra anticipates having to complete at least the first 30 launches of their 2 Dream Chaser planes with this disposable version, and so they are also busy creating a production line that can keep up with that. Have you ever wished you could learn a new language? Maybe for travel, connecting with family, or just for fun? Well, I found the perfect solution.
A lot of money to waste.
Cox Business Connect with
I'm
Ring
confused.
Central
Why don't
streamlines your
they
business.
use Artemis rockets, or why don't they use one of Elon Musk's heavy lift?
Or Saturn V will still do it.
They well, not using that anymore, but
it has enough power to do it if they were to resurrect that platform.
Yeah, well, I don't know why Elon Musk has got heavy lift rockets all day long. I mean, he can build this shit like they're coming out his ass.
He's got heavy lift recoverable.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. It was Blue Origin. That's Boeing. Boeing. I think Boeing's building a rocket. Maybe I got him confused, but there's Blue Origin is Jeff Bezos.
Bezos, yeah. Bezos.
Sorry. Yeah, fuck Bezos. He can't build anything right. Bezos, go back to selling boxes, man. Go back to selling boxes, man. Oh no, we got all kind of wonderful. Yeah, he's the Amazon guy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what is this? Well, yeah, we want to check this out. So hold on, let me pull this up. Oh no, we always have tons of stuff, people. We just been chatting about other stuff. What do you mean your mom is pregnant? Like, I care if your mom is pregnant. How old is she? No, really. Like, I care if you. Sometimes people I wonder about when y'all send me messages like that. Okay, wait. This is some bullshit big ass explosion in Iran today. Let's see. Does it talk? Let's go.
What happened in Iran? Let's see. Yeah. Does it make noise? It's not up yet. You mean put it up?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Put it up. I'm sorry.
You have to start it over.
Rumors swirled of what Israeli forces had encountered as they descended into the enemy. Unlike countless airstrikes before it, this destruction didn't rain down from the skies. It erupted from deep within the earth. For months, the operation remained a mystery, shrouded in nothing but whispers and speculation.
Israel got the best, sneakiest force I've ever seen. They got the
Israeli
best
forces
spies in the whole fucking
as they
planet.
descended into the enemy's underground
I mean,
stronghold,
come on.
armed with enough explosives to make the ground quake for miles.
I mean, how long was
Now,
that deeper
the
thing?
world has finally gotten an answer. Israeli forces have declassified Operation Many Ways, revealing the technological fortress they discovered beneath the mountain and what they found inside. The target. Until last year, Masyaf harbored one of the most advanced underground weapons centers in the Middle East. Known officially as the Deep Layer Facility, it was the product of years of construction and planning by Iranian forces. Designed to be immune to the airstrikes that have been destroying overground facilities in the region since 2017, the site was carved somewhere between 230 and 430 feet beneath a mountain region far away from Israeli territory. For years, the Deep Layer Facility remained hidden from the public. It wasn't until September 2024, when Israeli forces executed a raid, that the world caught a glimpse of it for the first time, right before its impending destruction. Yet the full extent of the facility and its true purpose remained concealed until the recent declassification of Israel's operation. Built in a horseshoe shape, the facility featured 3 main entrances, each serving a distinct function. One for bringing in raw materials, another for logistics and operational planning in secured offices, and a third designed to discreetly transport finished missiles and rockets. These were set to be long-range precision-guided missiles, crafted to strengthen Hezbollah and the Assad regime's ability to strike deep into Israel.
On our side.
With an estimated production capacity of 100 to 300 missiles per year, the facility was poised to become a game-changer in regional warfare. Footage released by the Israeli commandos who infiltrated the compound provides a glimpse into its interior. The facility housed 16 specialized chambers, overflowing with advanced machinery, including highly coveted planetary mixers, vital for crafting missile-grade solid propellants. These mixers, combined with the facility's cutting-edge engineering, enabled the production of weapons far more sophisticated than anything previously seen in the arsenals of Israel's enemies. By the time Israeli forces launched their raid, 2 missiles had been completed, with 4 solid propellant rocket motors awaiting assembly. Engines of this kind offer an edge. They require no fueling before launch, allowing for rapid deployment and enhancing their effectiveness in surprise attacks. Their range exceeding 190 miles.
Everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing. We just want to feel safe. As mayor, I'll crack down on gun violence by getting more officers on our streets, targeting repeat offenders, and youth prevention efforts that stop crime before it begins. Let's build a stronger mobile
by
together.
taking offensive weapons out of the hands of citizens.
If this operation had taken any longer, critical hits
Yeah,
could have
cop got
put military
killed in
targets
Canada
and
today.
civilians at severe risk.
Somebody went crazy at the CDC.
Preparing for strike. The raid on the Deep Layer Facility was years in the making. From the moment the site's first stone was laid, Israel's intelligence directorate had its eyes on Masyaf. Using satellite imagery, Israeli forces tracked every stage of the facility's development. Every detail was scrutinized, its layout, defenses, and purpose. As soon as the bunker was confirmed to be a hub for manufacturing advanced weaponry, Israeli officials knew they had to act. And yet, the complexities of conducting such an operation deep within enemy territory left military forces paralyzed, struggling to find the right approach to conduct the mission.
Well, it looks like they got to
As
figure it
equipment
out.
kept arriving at the facility and tests were carried out, the countdown to the facility's first deployment began. Israel had no more time to assess the best course of action, yet the risks remained. Syrian and Iranian forces were stationed nearby, and the factory's
not
far
for long.
location from the Israeli border made the possibility of deploying aid in the event of an emergency a challenge. Moreover, the underground defenses of the complex could require heavy machinery to bypass them. In response to the raid's high demands, the Israeli defenses began to plan Operation Many Ways. For 2 months, members of the Shaldog Unit, Israel's elite special operations force, and Unit 669, its combat search and rescue specialists, underwent rigorous training. Systems. These aircraft were shadowed by AH-64 attack helicopters, rotors slicing through the air, ready to rain firepower at the first sign of resistance. Overhead, an arsenal of 21 fighter jets, 5 drones, and 14
Photobox. Be open to anything. Be open to chill things,
Not drink the wine out of a bottle.
lively
You want to
things,
drink wine, I might as well drink it out of
and
a damn bottle.
award-winning things.
I like
Both of
wine in the
us.
first place.
Be open to anything.
Reconnaissance aircraft prowl the skies, their advanced sensors scanning for threats and relaying real-time intelligence to the infiltrating forces. Meanwhile, Israeli Navy missile boats launch decoy strikes, slamming nearby targets to sow confusion among Syrian forces. Simultaneous airstrikes erupted across the region, igniting flashes of fire and combat scenes across the area, designed to thin out defensive positions and divert attention from the real target. In just 18 minutes, the helicopters crossed the Syrian coastline and touched down near the entrances of the deep layer facility. The commandos moved according to plan. The first team secured the perimeter, neutralizing 2 guards and ensuring no alarms were raised. The second team surged forward, confronting the facility's reinforced doors. Breaking through these gates proved one of the operation's biggest challenges, taking the team nearly an hour of relentless effort to breach the barriers.
Some thick doors,
This
man.
became the key to secure access as much as possible. Fortunately for the team, Israeli fighter jets had unleashed precision airstrikes to obliterate roads and key reinforcement routes, halting the enemy's advance. The facility's isolated location suddenly turned into a tactical advantage for Israel, buying the troops enough time to move to the final phase of the raid. Inside the facility. Once inside the horseshoe-shaped tunnels of the deep layer facility, needed time before being called to regroup and began their withdrawal. Securing as much intelligence as possible, the troops proceeded to exit the facility before the final blow.
What? No firefight? What's that?
The final blow.
That's why the Israelis were
As the last
blowing
of
up
the troops
everything around
boarded
them.
the
They couldn't get to
CH-53
them.
helicopters, the remote detonator was triggered. A blinding flash illuminated the night sky for miles as the ground beneath the deep layer facility convulsed, sending debris and fire into the air. Footage released by Israeli forces later captured the magnitude of the blast, described by one of the commandos as, quote, a mini earthquake. Despite the stakes, the mission was completed in under 3 hours with flawless precision. No injuries or casualties were reported among the Israeli forces. However, the Israel Defense Forces assessed that 30 Syrian guards and soldiers were taken down during the raid, while Syrian media claimed 14 lost lives and 43 wounded. As the helicopters ascended and disappeared into the shadows, one of Iran's most advanced missile production facilities lay in ruins beneath. Following the operation's declassification, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu delivered a cautionary message, quote, "Those who strike Israel will pay a very heavy price for it." A couple of months
He ain't
later,
not shitting either, man. Anyway, guys,
bunker
look
in
at
the
that
region.
explosion that night. Look at this
Recently,
thing.
another complex was found underneath the mansion of Maher al-Assad, commander of the 4th Armored Division within the Syrian army and brother of former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. These recent discoveries hint at a broader network of underground complexes throughout the region. These fortresses, designed to remain invisible, may still harbor unknown threats.
Yep, blow them up, man. That's all we can tell you. Blow them up. You got to give the Israelis credit. I mean, Jesus, they get things done that no other country seem to get done. I don't get it.
The classic. I mean, these tactics have never been used or heard of in all of warfare. First, they came at the Hamas, or was it Hezbollah? I forget which. I think Hezbollah, with an attack through their beeper network. Yes, they were still using call the beeper doctor. You know, they didn't kill a lot. I think 1 or 2 deaths, but a lot of hands and fingers were damaged or destroyed. And I thought that was kind of clever. The very following day, they went to the next lowest technology. I mean, it was the highest technology. It was the lowest high-tech attack I'd ever heard of. They went after their walkie-talkies, a little bigger machine, hold a little bit larger of a piece of dynamite in it. They killed, I think, 7 or 9 people, and the rest who had them had their hands blown off. So, and I laughed my ass off when I heard that second attack. That is just absolutely brilliant. There isn't a thing that they haven't done right or wrong. They keep getting, yelled at that they're child killers. They're the ones whose children were killed first. So I don't understand why people are going after them.
I'm just amazed at how effective they are. I mean, They're just, oh man. This we're gonna put up right quick. Jay, throw that up for me, man.
Okay, yeah.
No,
You are on.
Okay, let me get this right quick. So this thing is badass to the bone.
The single combat aircraft in decades. Their fighter bomber F-2 is a deeply reworked version of the American F-16.
No,
I was
worried
gonna
about
say,
that.
besides British firm of these
Not what we're
aircraft.
here for.
In the U.S., there are 2 programs to modernize both the Predator and the Lightning. There's also a British program for the creation of a 6th-generation fighter BAE Systems Tempest, in which and Swedish companies take part besides British firms.
Yeah.
But obviously, the 2 leading EU countries, Germany and France, can spend more money on the project, and the French and Germans would have more experience in aircraft development.
Yeah, but we're not letting the fucking Germans make
Single
another
combat aircraft in
Air
decades.
Force, rather.
Their fighter bomber F-2 is a deeply reworked version of the American F-16. So it'll take a lot of time and effort for them to bring their FX 6th generation fighter project to life. So what is the Franco-German-Spanish FCAS project, and why is it considered the most advanced?
Looks
But
like
at the
shit.
beginning, a small digression. Why do the Germans and French and the Spanish and the British and the Swedes and the Italians, plus the Japanese, spend billions of dollars trying to create their 6th generation fighters instead of going the tried and tested way? They do not join a joint project with the USA and then buy ready-made aircraft, as it's currently happening with the F-35 Lightning II. Certainly not to prove to the world that they're still great aviation powers. The reason's more prosaic. A basic fear of the future. Meanwhile, the Russians are already successfully testing their 5th-generation fighter, Su-57, and their 4th-generation fighters, 2 plus the Su-35, have long been confidently plying the skies. So the gears of the bureaucratic machine are crunching.
By the time they get
As a
to
result,
F5,
there
I
are
mean their
several
5th
national
generation up, will be
projects of
sick.
6th-generation fighters. But let us return to the FCAS project. The dynamics of its development are impressive.
Everywhere I go, people tell me the same.
In April 2018, French Defense Minister Florence Parly and her German counterpart Ursula von der Leyen signed an agreement to begin work on the project of the future Franco-German next-generation fighter created within the framework of the Future Air Combat System, or the French Système de Combat Aérien de Futur. And already in the same 2018, on October 23rd, at the Euronaval 2018 exhibition in Paris, the French company Dassault Aviation presented a mock-up of the 6th-generation fighter. Externally, it was something between the American F-22 and the Russian Su-57. At the same time, the French boldly declared that the new fighter jet would be many times superior to the American F-35 and F-22 fighters, as it would be controlled without the direct involvement of the pilot. On February 15, 2019, Spain joined the project. Each country appointed a national industry coordinator, Airbus for Germany, Indra for Spain, and Dassault for France.
Airbus
Then at the Le
built
Bourget
planes.
Air Show, which opened on June 17, 2019, a mock-up of a very different machine, similar to the YF-23 prototype, was shown. Recall that at the start of the US F-22 Raptor 5th generation fighter program, there were initially 2 prototypes. The YF-22, created by a team of Lockheed, Boeing, and General Dynamics, and YF-23, the brainchild of Northrop and McDonnell Douglas. Then the YF-22-1. Though by such a key requirement, providing cruising supersonic speed without using an afterburner.
Yep.
YF-23 won over the future F-22 Raptor. It showed Mach 1.8 and YF-22 only Mach 1.58, and that only on afterburner. Next to the prototype model of the Franco-German-Spanish fighter, there was a model of the so-called remote carrier, simply an unmanned aerial vehicle which will accompany the fighter. That is, the designers will
Steal all
implement the
America's
concept of a
ideas, why don't
swarm,
you?
a fighter plus several UAVs that perform reconnaissance and strike functions. It should be noted that a similar concept has already been implemented by the Russians in their 5th generation fighter, Su-57. It is developed and is already being tested, the drone
Sukhoi
Su-70
57.
created using stealth technology. But back to FCAS. Now its designers are leaning towards a manned version, not an unmanned one. The main argument is the impossibility of achieving satisfactory autonomy parameters in the 20 to 30 to 2040 years. As a result, the main layout concept of the program is a 2-seat aircraft, the crew of which is represented by a pilot and a drone swarm operator. By this idea, the main load will be carried by inexpensive and simple unmanned mules equipped with sensors and weapons, as well as connected to secure information channels. It's interesting that this time, the new machine is designed not as a replacement for the Tornado, but as the successor to the already Typhoon. That is, it should appear in 2045. At the presentation, the new aircraft was called
we'll be going to Gen 7,
in
man.
a 2-seat configuration. The highlights of the new
We'll be on
fighter
Mars
should
by
become a
then.
new system of reconnaissance, surveillance, and reconnaissance, ISR, intelligence.
Okay, I'm sorry,
A
guys.
consortium of the French Safran Group and Germany's MTU Aero Engines will develop the engine for the new aircraft. Safran will design and integrate the
I don't
engine
want to
as
pick
well.
on you Germans in America.
Write about it in the comments below. If you've
But
enjoyed the video,
guys, really and
please give it a
truly,
like.
We're already building 6th-generation jets right now.
Yeah, and Russia's
I don't
just now
want
starting
to
their
hate on
5th
y'all.
generation
We've
fighter.
already got prototypes flying in the sky. It's this thing here. This is the man. And let's take a look at this thing for a minute.
And SU, by the way, in SU-57 stands for Sukhoi. Is the Russian manufacturer that makes those. They must.
Let's take a look at this right quick. Share screen. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Disclaimer.
Uh-oh.
Now look at this thing. This is the X-44 Mana.
Oh yeah.
Manta is one of the most mysterious projects of the American military aviation. This revolutionary stealth aircraft, developed by Lockheed Martin, was originally conceived as an innovative platform without an empennage, which already distinguished it from other models. The Manta gained the ability to accelerate to Mach 1 in a matter of seconds, which marked a new record among fighter jets.
3,000 nautical miles, stay 50 hours with refueling, and give up not only a picture, but can do strikes too for time-sensitive targets.
Unique aerodynamics and stealth technologies provide almost complete invisibility to both radar and human eyes, thanks to the latest coating codenamed Parallax. The X-44 Manta project began in the 1990s when the U.S. military was looking for new solutions to create an unrivaled stealth aircraft. At this time, developments in aerodynamics and stealth were becoming a priority for the Pentagon, and the legendary Lockheed Martin was allowed to work on the Manta. The fighter was designed as a completely tailless aircraft, which in itself aroused great interest. This decision made it possible to significantly reduce its radar visibility and improve maneuverability. Moreover, the Manta was capable of reaching supersonic speeds of 1,740 miles per hour, rising to altitudes of up to 68,900 feet to carry out reconnaissance missions.
That's almost Mach 3.
You won't believe it, but one of the most shocking features of Manta is its ability to become invisible not only to radar, but also to the human eye. Imagine this, an airplane that can disappear in an instant, leaving the enemy in complete confusion. This effect is achieved thanks to a unique cover codenamed Parallax that works as a camera and display at the same time. The lower part of the airplane transmits the image seen by the upper part and vice versa, creating the illusion of complete disappearance.
Yeah, I told you about this already.
44 fighters equipped with the most advanced weapon systems. Even without weapons, the Manta is like a thunderbolt, deadly to anyone. This aircraft is literally a game changer, and it's rumored that it's even equipped with an electromagnetic gun.
Oh shit!
Pulse weapons.
Oh my God, it's got electromagnetic gun on. Oh my God, this thing is seriously shit to kill you.
An enemy's electronic
Grab over your sitting
in a very precise way.
Turn up all.
Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But one thing's certain, the X-44 Manta will be the weapon that will determine the outcome of future conflicts. Just imagine that you learn about the existence of the X-44 Manta, an aircraft that can literally disappear, destroy, and dominate any fighter. When such information becomes available, it changes the way we think about military technology.
Air, outer space, what?
We thought stealth was the pinnacle of stealth, but the Manta shows that this is only the beginning.
I'm not sure what this thing does, man.
This is Buick. Now.
This thing is wicked.
Buick. Exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
If such technologies already exist, this raises new questions for us. How to defend against an enemy that cannot be seen? How to respond to a threat that can materialize anywhere and at any time? Is there any way to shoot it down? The declassification of the Manta information
Looks
may
like it's
force other
flying in
countries
space
to
to me.
accelerate their own development in the field of stealth and stealth technologies, leading to a new stage of the arms race. And here the main question arises. Are we ready for such a future? After all, if such technologies can be used for defense, they can also be in the hands of those who intend to attack. The fact that such aircraft exist can radically change the strategy of not only defense, but also offense.
China and
After all,
Russia
the
are
Manta
barely
is
working
not
on
just
Gen
an
6.
airplane, it's a signal that the technologies of the future are here, and they're ready to turn the world upside down. Ultimately, the X-44 Manta is a revolutionary stealth aircraft that can change the world. Its unique technologies, such as the parallax coating and hypersonic missiles, make the X-44 a formidable weapon, but also a reliable defender. The declassification of Manta information emphasizes the importance of transparency in military developments, as such technologies can change the balance of power in the world. Its speed is 1.5 times faster than the speed of sound, and the project cost is $250 million. The Lockheed Martin X-59 is an experimental supersonic aircraft developed under the Low Boom Flight Demonstrator Program.
What is
The
this
aim of this
thing?
project is to create an aircraft capable of flying at supersonic speeds with minimal sound impact, which will reduce the negative impact on the environment and make supersonic flights more commercially attractive.
Oh, this is
Lockheed Martin, famous for its military purpose of the
This is a
aircraft.
commercial jet. We don't care
The
about commercial
success of
jets.
these ideas was in EF Super Hornet fighter jets.
Everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing. We just want to feel safe. As mayor, I'll crack down
Well,
on
people,
gun
Hornet's
violence by
getting
getting
kind of
more
old
officers
now.
on our
I
streets,
mean, we just
targeting
started
repeat
getting them when I was
offenders,
getting
and
out
youth
there.
prevention efforts that stop crime before it begins. Let's build a
I
stronger
don't
mobile
believe you,
together.
woman.
This engine cannot yet be called commercial because the engine from a fighter jet that moved the weight of the weapon, pilot, and light airframe must now perform commercially successful missions at 1,100 miles per hour. Therefore, the engineers involved in the modernization of this engine faced a difficult task. We will know whether they succeeded or not very soon. In addition, design innovations alone are not enough to understand how this aircraft will behave in the air. To better study the prototype, a simulator was
But there were only a few of them.
All 13 Concorde aircraft, despite the exorbitant cost of the flight, were unprofitable.
But the costs were racking up all the time.
People complained about the noise from their engines, and flight safety was poor. Ensure that all systems are fully operational. Any more such
y'all
test
suck.
flights before the aircraft and the total cost
Y'all
of the
suck.
project.
So at least the Manta was cool. I don't know what that crap was.
Well, I mean, you heard me ask the question: was it a multimedia craft? And it really didn't say. The reason why I asked that is we see that with a lot of the UFOs. It's a multimedia craft. They've been seen going into volcanoes and exiting volcanoes. They've been seen seamlessly exiting and entering the ocean and the atmosphere at the same time without like losing or having to slow down any kind of speed. It's just like bloop bloop. It's like us driving across state lines. It's like you just keep on going. We don't have a craft that can do that. We can't go from we can't. First of all, we can't fly or submerge anything in lava. We would kill us, but they can. Our submersible vessels can come up to the surface, and that's it. And some of them might be able to launch some air vehicles, but that's it.
It's not. What was that submarine that used to have that thing that would fly out of it? What was the name of that TV series? It was I can't
Well, it
remember
had
the
a
name.
drone. It had a drone, but the Japanese in World War II, they actually had two versions of a submersible carrier. And I don't remember what they were, but there were Type 1 and Type 2, what they actually call them in Japan. But the Type 1 had one vehicle it could launch, and I don't know if it could recover or not. The other one could carry two planes, and it could either be one fighter and an observation plane, or two fighters, or two observation planes, whatever they wanted to put on it. But it couldn't recover the fighter. Reconnaissance plane they could. Anyway, they had one that launched a reconnaissance plane at just before Pearl Harbor, and so this was a concept that actually functioned during World War II. People don't realize that this was the first time it was used was to attack us, a submersible aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
Very, very clever.
Yeah, it is very clever. Oh, so on to a little different subject now. So they have proved that there's life on Mars now.
Oh,
Or there was life on
when?
well, let me finish. They proved that there was life on Mars, I should say. They found coral.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they found some coral, which means there was life there because coral's a living creature.
And what does that mean?
That means there was life there. Yeah, that means there was an ocean. It means there was an ocean in coral. So, but now they're thinking there may be some other kind of life there, something that's still alive today.
Coral, there was fish. There was fish. There was a monkey.
Yeah, but they're thinking now that maybe something else may exist there. I see that Trump won again against that court.
Maybe it's lizard people.
No, I don't know. I see that court.
People, man, what it is.
That court that told Trump he just couldn't throw people out the country. The appellate court in D.C. of all places, he won, and the appeals court 2-3. 2-1. So the court in D.C., the people who hate Trump said no, he can actually do that under whatever that law thing he's using. They said he can do it. So, and the Supreme Court actually already said, look, one little baby court can't rule for the whole country anymore. That's bullshit. An appeals court like a D.C. court, that's a district court, so they cover more territory, but even they can't make a ruling for the whole country. But in this case, they're just saying, no, this judge can't. So now that they did that, pay him bond, they brought charges against this guy saying that all his stuff was politically motivated. So things are getting interesting, I have to say. Oh, and what's her name? Lita Jones, the one who tried to get him in D.C., has formally been charged. I mean, not in D.C., in New York. She's formally been charged.
With?
Yeah, so she's probably getting in trouble herself.
What was she charged with?
I think it was mortgage fraud.
Oh, wow.
Same thing she tried to get Trump for. Same damn thing she tried to get Trump for. I just found that interesting. So this is the F-117 Nighthawk, radical stealth jet, changed air combat. Yeah, but that's an oldie goldie thing, man. The F-117 been around for a while.
Try Y-17. Now, don't put a 1 in front of it. Just Y dash.
No, this is the F-117 Nighthawk. That's the one we used in Iraq. I know what that is.
Yeah, that's a storm. That thing started flying in 1956, and I think they were unveiled in 1990.
So NASA, along with a couple other companies, have figured out a way to build this craft to get us to Proxima Centauri. They can hold up to 2,400 people. It's a one-way trip, by the way, but everything you'll need will be on board, and it can get you to a planet there, and you can establish a colony.
You'll probably you'll probably be the last to get there because we'll advance so quickly while you're en route.
Well, no, they'll
forget about you and launch a vesicle that does warp 10, and we'll get there before you. By the time you get there, there'll already be a set up American U.S. colony.
The spaceship capital taking humans on the way, 250-year journey. Yeah, people. Wow. Nobody's going for that. 250.
That's a generational ship. You got to have people alive, like rabbits. That's
one of them things.
Literally.
What is this one? We're going to talk about that.
Children have to be trained how to operate the machinery and the spaceship to get you there for 250 years. But how many generations is that? That's at least 3 or 4 generations.
Yeah. So I got to go back to that Atlanta thing. So this guy he killed the cop. The cop was called to the CDC's office, and he killed the cop, but he's dead. But nobody knows. Nobody's saying if he took his own life. Well, this shooter. No, some shooter that just was at the CDC, and the cop was called, and he killed the cop. And that was today.
Oh, Emory University in Atlanta.
It said CDC office is what it said, when I was listening to the mayor talk about it.
The suspected officer dead after shooting outside CDC in Atlanta.
Yeah. So he was there.
It's apparently on Emory University.
But they didn't say why he was called. I mean, why he was there. Why the cop was called. None of that's been made available. So, and they said they're going to be another statement later on. The poor cop his wife had 3 kids and one on the way. I was like, well, ain't that some shit? Anyway, scientists discovered distant black hole 300 million times. The 300 times. What was that?
I have it right here. New York Times, actually.
Yeah, I listened to it today. I listened to it live. And I was listening to that crazy mayor they got who's a fucking idiot. And she was going on and on and on. But the cop didn't want to give up the name or the guy. And nobody wanted to say why did he off himself or did they off him? I don't know what. And I don't know why they didn't want to talk about it. I mean, what was this gunman doing there?
Well,
I mean,
it says right at the beginning, the gunman fired at the headquarters of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention because he blamed the COVID vaccine for his maladies, an official said.
Well, you know what? Oh, speaking of that, they can bring Fauci up in charges.
Have they?
Yes, they're saying that because of the auto pen. His whatchamacallit isn't official.
His what's that? Oh, his pardon.
Yeah, his pardon, his whatever they call it, because it's not actually a pardon because he hadn't done anything yet.
No, he gave him carte blanche for from here. What did he say, from 1982 to so and so? He's
Yeah,
he knows something. Come on.
So they're bringing him up in charges. I don't know for what. We'll see what all that ends up going. I like this. It's science discovered a distant black hole 300 million times the size of our sun.
That's the Earth. I saw that just before coming on here. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is huge. Oh wait, this is the Navy's next generation stealth.
Well, I was thinking the answer to that article is probably they found a black hole 300 times the size of Earth. Yeah, guess what? It's the shaping center of the galaxy. We just heard about it. We talked about a couple shows ago.
They're not giving us no pictures on this. It's the FAXX. That's the 47, I'm imagining. But they're not giving us no pictures of it. It's the Navy's new FF-47. Well, they don't always give you pictures, guys. I don't know why. I mean, they give you pictures, but this one just was a picture of a FA-18 Hornet. What's this one? DOJ opens investigation into
Northrop YF-17 Cobra flight test, 1974, Edwards Air Force Base. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, no, it just came up. The DOJ opens investigation into New York Attorney General Lita James, a top foe of 6. That's the one we were just talking about. So they're going after her hardcore. I think they want to put her in jail.
Yeah.
Now is this the one I was looking for? James Webb Telescope makes history with potential new exoplanet found near Alpha Centauri A. So that's only 4 light years away or less.
Captain Kirk was right. There is somebody there. No, I'm from Alpha Centauri. It's a wonderful place you ought to visit.
Yeah, so they're not really giving you much information on it. Let's see, Alpha Centauri A is the closest
You don't trust
sunlight
Captain
star.
Kirk? It's a wonderful place.
I love Captain Kirk, but he smokes weed. And
I'm sure he does. Money keeps you alive. Something's keeping that man alive. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, something keeping him alive.
They shot him up with something. He ain't done. Everybody else on his show is dead, but him and 2 others, and that's it.
Well, I see. What's his name?
Walter Koenig and George Takei.
Yeah, Walter Koenig. He's still alive. And he was. I loved him on Babylon 5, by the way.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Yeah, as Vester.
The movie Moon 44 that
he was a no good bastard, is what he was. But it was a great part. I didn't know the guy could act, so I was happy to see it.
Oh, he was very good.
Yeah,
he was trying to be Russian the whole time. The dude grew up in New York.
Yeah,
He's not Russian at all. He just grew up with Russian family.
But when on Star Trek, you couldn't really tell if the guy acted or not. He's just kind of fucking around. But on Babylon 5, he actually had to act, and I was like, wow, look at this dude. And I was surprised when I even seen him. So I was like, that's kind of cool. Alpha Centauri is the closest sun to us. Whoever asked me that question.
He was born the same year as my dad. Wow.
It was what was that, Glenn? Babylon 5. I like Babylon 5 because it's near now science fiction. Yeah, near now, I mean, it was close to the time we live in, and it's more like what our politics would be in space. Even as a united world, it's more like what our politics would be because we're in everybody's business. We can't help ourselves. It's who and what we are. Hey, look, I didn't make the rules. Now, this is interesting. Let me pull this up right quick. So this makes me think about something. We're going to get into this in just a second. Is it up on the screen? Put it on the screen for me, Jay.
Oh, I wasn't there. Let me go back there. What do you got? Yeah, boom. You're up.
Okay. So this is footage declassified after 70 years. NASA's forgotten moon base exposed.
Really?
Top secret document has just landed on your desk.
So what's interesting about me, we're going to skip through this
troubling
because it's 13
situation
minutes
that-
long, so we're going to skip along. But
This
so
is Project Horizon.
throw it up there, guys. Show what you got.
I've heard of it.
In summary, Project Horizon is the most ambitious American military proposal since the end of World War II, a rapid expansion of the U.S. Army into the theater of outer space, their destination, the moon.
The moon.
The document reads, there is a requirement for a manned military outpost on the moon. The lunar outpost is required to develop and protect potential United States interests on the moon, to develop techniques in moon-based surveillance of the Earth and space, in communications relay, and in operations on the surface of the moon, to serve as a base for exploration of the moon, for further exploration into space, and for military operations on the moon if required, and to support scientific investigations on the moon. This must be done to secure the dominance and prestige of the United States in the eyes of the world. Soviet advancements in space exploration threaten to humiliate philosophy. A complete family of requirements and supporting research and development projects will be necessary to develop all operations. At the end of the Second World War, Nazi Germany was looted by the Allied nations. To the victors go the spoils, but the US wasn't after gold or secret Nazi treasure. They wanted rockets,
yes, they
and
were.
more specifically, they wanted the people responsible for those rockets. In the final months of the war, the Nazis were able to strike out at Europe with an unprecedented new weapon, a long-range, guided ballistic missile called the V-2. This was a liquid propellant rocket that used...
Everywhere I go, people tell me the same
What
thing.
the-
We just want to feel safe. As mayor, I'll crack down on gun violence by
People
getting
don't
more
vote for this
officers on
one.
our streets,
Always when they
targeting
get that
repeat
interesting,
offenders,
they
and youth
get you
prevention
in,
efforts that stop crime before it begins.
my
Let's
brain
build
with
a
those
stronger mobile together.
cryogenic oxygen and a high-speed turbopump to fly at supersonic speeds high above the Earth's atmosphere, making the weapon impossible for any nation to defend against and reaching distances as far as London. With Hitler dead and Berlin in ruins, the team of
Hitler didn't
scientists
die.
responsible for this death machine surrendered
then, anyway.
themselves to the American army, including the V2 project leader, Werner von Braun.
That's
Uncle
right.
Sam made von Braun and his team an offer they simply couldn't refuse.
Why do you think
Come
his
to
army's
America
broken?
and continue your
I
work
know.
or join your comrades at the Nuremberg trials. The identities and activities of von Braun's team were classified under Operation Paperclip, and now with the space race in full swing,
They quashed
the
all
time
their
has
war
come to
records.
use these Nazi assets to their full
Let me say
potential.
that again. Their war crime record.
Werner von Braun would be
Yeah.
transferred from ballistic missile development to the task of building a fleet of rockets that could reach from the surface of the Earth to the surface of the moon and safely deliver thousands of pounds of material and equipment necessary to construct the Horizon moon base. For this purpose, von Braun developed two potential rocket designs, Saturn I and Saturn II. Saturn
V1,
I, this
V2.
rocket booster would use a cluster of liquid-fueled rocket engines called the H1. This would be a simplified version of von Braun's engine design used in the Jupiter, 30,000 pounds on Saturn I to 70,000 pounds on Saturn II. These Saturn rockets would be the most advanced flying machines the world had ever known,
Yeah,
but
which we
even
forgot
still,
how to
a
build.
flurry of rocket launches would be necessary to achieve the construction of Project Horizon's lunar outpost. The Army concludes that 61 launches of the Saturn I and 88 launches of the Saturn II would be required to deliver the...
Now, I have to take a
A
vacation.
lot of launches,
Okay.
man.
Nobody, too, is an awesome.
I mean, I
fish
don't mind a
pumpkin
commercial, but
all
not
out
every
for all of the
27
film.
seconds. That's
Oh,
bullshit.
Bottoms up. Nobody, too. Rated R. Only in theaters now.
You can't skip
necessary
any of them.
payload to the
Ridiculous.
surface of the moon from August 1964 through November 1966. This requires an average launching rate of 5.3 rockets per month. The total useful cargo transported to the moon amounts to 245 tons, assuming an average mission reliability of 80%. And then once constructed, another 64 Saturn pounds and be able to carry a wide are scheduled to arrive on the moon in April of 1965. They will arrive in an area where cargo has already been delivered for construction of the Horizon base. Their lander will have an immediate return to Earth capability. However, it's intended that these two men will remain and prepare for the arrival of the advanced.
What was it, 69 we went to the moon?
July 69, yeah.
So were these people flying programs we didn't know about?
Well, allegedly, the Germans already had a base on the moon during World War II, right there at the end.
It's the construction crew. Their mission is to verify the environmental conditions on the moon and confirm the site selection and cargo delivery used in the construction of the permanent facility. There will be 2 surface vehicles used in the construction phase. One is a construction vehicle for lifting, digging, scraping, etc., and the second is a transport vehicle for more extended distance trips needed for hauling, reconnaissance, and rescue. When completed in November 1966, the basic outpost will be crewed by 12 men, powered by 4 nuclear reactors, contain 2 airlocks, a medical hospital, cold storage facility, biological science, and physical science laboratories. The completed basic outpost will consist of 10 subsurface personnel compartments. For sustained operation on the lunar surface, a body conformation suit having a substantial outer metal surface is considered a necessity. And when freezer storage facilities are available, celebrate the 50th anniversary of the October Revolution that birthed the Soviet Union. Therefore, we must be prepared for the event of a military conflict on the moon. Conventional firearms will have a reduced effectiveness on the moon due to the reduced gravity and lack of atmosphere, so therefore explosives that can scatter a large number of small projectiles like a grenade will be preferable. For a soldier operating on the moon, tactical nuclear bomb. Okay, that was all fun to imagine, but of course you're not President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and we know that none of this stuff actually came $1 billion. To perspective, more of that in the present day, just to keep things interesting.
Because first off, some of that stuff was supposed to be designed after the moon landing, and secondly, we had what, 3 left over? 17, 18,
3.
19?
Allegedly 18, 19, and 20.
20.
And supposedly, 20 was faked with one thing, but one of the alleged things is that 19 and 20 went to Mars and 18 went to the far side of the moon.
Well, they might all went to the moon.
They might all went to the moon. They might all went to Mars.
I don't know. Mars is pretty far for a Saturn rocket. It's maybe pulse rocket, but not a Saturn rocket. I mean, I can't tell you 100%, but is that up on the screen? The carrier?
No, if you're trying to put a carrier up, there's nothing ready here. You have to hit
hold on. Let me switch it over.
Share button.
So, guys and girls, I'm just a little wondering if we don't have somebody up there already. It's kind of bugging me a little bit.
There are bases of aliens on the backside of the moon, so why shouldn't there be human or even Nazi bases? They're all dead.
Anyway, but I mean, so this is the mysterious jet that was caught landing on the aircraft carrier. Put it up on the screen for me. I always forget to put it up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, big button there in the corner.
Okay, let's put it up.
Without a pilot and a mission lurking off the coast of Gaza. This isn't sci-fi, it's real. Meet the X-47B, America's ghost jet, and the USS Gerald R. Ford, a $13 billion floating fortress. Together, they're unstoppable. They don't blink, they don't miss, and if tensions boil over, this silent team could be first to strike. They were built for different wars, but now, they're on the same mission. Number 5. Nuclear power core of a floating fortress at the heart of the USS Gerald R. Ford lies not 1, but 2 A-1B nuclear reactors. These cutting-edge power plants are so efficient.
Yeah, but
She is
it's putting
landing.
6
Refuel once
crews.
every 50 years. That means
You know, it's
25
real
years
now.
of
We see
continuous
Atlanta-
operation, no gas stops, no refueling delays. At 30 knots, she can access any coastline in the world.
30
Fast.
knots, man.
Inside, hundreds of engineers monitor heat, radiation, and thrust with pinpoint
Very
accuracy.
modest.
She's more than mobile, she's immortal at sea. This power drives not just the engines, but the weapons, elevators, and
30
sensors.
knots, 45 miles an
Storms?
hour.
No problem. Nuclear power provides perfect stability. With nuclear power, she leaves port with all the force of a moving city. Other carriers? They're powerful, but none match this energy core. Over 300 megawatts per reactor.
Everywhere I go, people tell me the
Oh,
same
shit.
thing. We just want to feel
Oh, it's
safe.
gonna
As
get so
mayor, I'll
interesting.
crack down on gun
I'm
violence
sending
by
this
getting
bitch
more
a
officers on
bill.
our streets, targeting
Yeah.
repeat offenders, and youth prevention efforts that
Yeah, you
stop
are a
crime
repeat
before it
offender. Get off
begins.
my
Let's
screen,
build a
lady.
stronger mobile together.
That's more than enough to power a small town. And when she disappears over the horizon, that's when the real power begins. Number
So-
4. Artificial intelligence and unmanned warfare. Welcome to the brain of the beast, where AI runs everything from targeting to crew comfort. Robotic systems load weapons faster, smarter, and
Well,
without
look, we got the
fatigue.
faces.
And then there's the X-47B, the crown jewel of unmanned warfare. Onboard AI communicates directly with drones in real time. Zero lag.
Yeah,
Crew
AI
size?
photo,
Smaller
probably.
than previous carriers. Thanks to automation. That saved space goes to gyms,
500
upgraded bunks, even digital recreation rooms. Meanwhile, the X-47B preps for mission, fully autonomous, always alert. AI-controlled defenses can detect, track, and engage threats before humans even blink. Flying blind?
Happy with
Not
AI.
anymore.
No.
These drones see in pitch darkness. Even manned missions benefit. AI boosts pilot performance and situational awareness. Fewer crew, more capability. That's the new Navy. Because when the lights go out, the Ford lights up the sea. Number 3. Sensors that see everything. Meet the AN/SPY-3 radar, the eyes of the USS Gerald Ford. It tracks missiles, aircraft, and even sea-skimming threats, all at once. It's both horizon and volume search. A 2-for-1 miracle of engineering. Operators can control battlefield conditions without ever leaving the ship. With range spanning hundreds of miles, no object escapes detection. The system feeds data directly to targeting computers in real time. And it doesn't stop at radar. Thermal and infrared sensors are built in. This allows perfect landings even in pitch black or bad weather. Threats aren't just seen, they're neutralized, fast. No weather, no jamming. This radar slices through interference. Older systems needed multiple radars. This one does it all. Because the best attack starts with perfect vision. Number 2.
They put a lot of commercials in this bullshit.
They sure do.
And what am I eating? Panda.
America's fighter jet arsenal, the Ford carries up to 75 aircraft, including the mighty F-35C.
too.
It's the Navy's most advanced fighter, stealthy, fast, and versatile.
Let me
Close
for a second. So they busted themselves the other day. So they were going through talking about rough seas, and they had 77 ships on top the deck. Right now, not all of them were fighters, but the guy said the reason they were on top the deck is because all the below bays were full.
Right.
So that means it's more like 110, 120 jets, 130 jets. See, they do stupid stuff like that in busters. So I don't know if they do it on purpose. But I know the Nimitz, when I was on board, she was listed, I think, at 28 or 35, somewhere, I think it was 35 knots. And I think our cruising speed, if we were in combat mode, was somewhere around 80 miles an hour. And
Yeah,
which I was
say
impressed with.
72
That's,
knots. Yeah.
that's
combat?
Cruising.
No problem.
What's that, Jimmy? I think a knot's a mile and a quarter or something. Mile and 3/8. It's
You
something
also
like
have to
that.
think of it this way, Joe. A nautical mile is 6,600 feet. It isn't the 5,287 or whatever we're used to on land.
Yeah.
The nautical mile is longer.
Yeah, so no, they don't never tell you quite.
Long range strike?
Hey,
Easy.
Google, what is
Vertical
80 miles per
takeoff
hour
and landing
knot?
redefine naval operations. Unmanned drones share the deck, flying coordinated missions.
70 knots.
Each jet is a flying computer, constantly monitored, constantly upgraded. The F-35C carries lethal packages, from smart bombs to air-to-air missiles. Jet and drone synergy is what gives Ford the edge. Multiple aircraft can launch and land within minutes. The F-35C alone cost $400 billion to develop, and it shows. Soon, They'll talk to each other and fight without human orders. Because
Oh, yeah,
air
then they'll come
superiority
after us.
isn't optional, it's everything. Number 1. Launch, arrest, and elevators of the future. This is the Electromagnetic Launch System, or EMALS. Each one packs 29% more thrust than steam catapults. The Ford has 4 of these, each capable of 4,100 launches
They can
before
launch
maintenance.
jets at a time.
Landing? The
That's
arresting
not
gear
including
stops
that
jets
the,
from 150
F-35
miles per hour to
vertical.
0 in seconds. This
Man, that's
$700 million system is the most advanced in the world. And then there's the weapons and aircraft elevators, 11 in total. Sensors and AI controls allow split-second loading of missiles and gear. Every launch is timed, rehearsed, and flawless.
happy
It's
we
like
were
a
getting,
skyscraper inside a warship.
separate,
Multiple systems work in harmony,
elevators
speed,
for,
power, and timing. This level of control redefines naval air operations. And when the X-47B lifts off, it becomes a ghost in the sky. So, what do you get when you mix the most powerful aircraft carrier ever built with a semi-autonomous war drone that doesn't miss? You get a weapon of pure dominance. Which system impressed you most? The AI, the jet, or the launch tech? Let us know.
They all impress me, dude. It's a beast of an aircraft carrier. Oh wait, there was something here I wanted to show you. Where was it? Is this it? No, that's the UFO stuff. We're going to talk about that in a minute because I know we're getting late. Where is it at? Where is it at? So they were showing a destroyer with a laser on it today. It was beastified, man. I mean, this thing was This is it right here. Hold on. Oh man, we're running out of time. Let's see. Where's our thingy? There it is. There it is. There it is. Look at this thing, Jay. Let me put it up on the screen.
It's up there. Holy!
Look at this thing, man. This thing is a beast.
What is it
Jesus.
shooting at?
I don't know, but it's just shooting that thing. I'd hate to get in this fucking thing's way.
High-energy laser. It's called Helios.
Yeah. So what they're doing now, I was reading this today. The new Zimwalts, they're thinking they don't really like the Zimwalts. I think they're developing a new one, but they're going to have both lasers and rail guns on them now.
Wow.
And they're talking about putting mini rail guns on the front of. You know how to get the little gun in the front of these? They're talking about removing them and putting mini rail guns on them because the ammunition for some reason has gotten cheaper all of a sudden. So could you imagine running up on a destroyer? Or, well, this ain't even a destroyer. It's probably a frigate or something. Running up on this bitch and shooting lasers and rail guns at you. I mean, I'd turn around and leave.
Yeah, bye.
And they got those electronic pulse weapons now. So they can hit you with this pulse weapon, which basically just fucking fries every piece of electronics you have on the ship. And then
it's on. It has to be on.
Yeah. And it has to be on. And then they just hit you with their lasers and their railgun. You're screwed. This laser looks like it could cut a ship in half.
Yeah.
This does not look like a play toy laser like I've seen some of them. Them other ones they use like to shoot at missiles, and this does not look like
this. No, this isn't the shit they show you in the new universes that burns paper. No, this goes through iron and steel.
Yeah, I mean it really legitimately looks like it would cut a ship in half. I don't know, guys, but the Navy, the military, if I was China and Russia, I'd just shut the fuck up and go sit down somewhere. I mean, I know they're trying to catch up, but we see their problem is we've always been ahead, and we knew they were becoming a threat, so we just got crazy with shit.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the square or whatever this is that's firing this thing. I don't even look at this fucking beast.
And the gossip is this is only 100 years old. Yeah, I mean it's.
So this is a gun. This is a gun right here. It's one of, I don't know, 50 cal. No, what are they?
It's probably 200 millimeter cannon.
Yeah, that's what, something along those lines. Look at the thickness of the beam. It's thicker than the fucking gun is. I would not want to get in front of this thing. Now I don't know what the range is, but I'm telling you what.
And it might take sustained contact in order to actually cut the ship in half, but
it looks pretty big, man.
I'm thinking the shit out of it.
I'm thinking if you'd hit one right there, it'd cut it in half. Bitch would sink. Guys, I'm just saying I don't want to get in front of that.
What if you hit the ship's magazine? I mean, Jesus, that would explode instantly.
Now, how much can it be moved around? Does a ship have to move to control it, or does it have a control? It doesn't say. I'm just saying I would not want to be the person this motherfucker hit.
I would not want to be on the receiving
end. The beam is thick as that's outrageous. I've never see that looks like the weapons. So they were developing that 727 weapon, the one that was supposed to go into 727, where they did the Circle 8 over the country, and it fired multiple beam at one time to kill, incoming missiles. And for some reason, who was it shot it down? Obama shot it down. It was already halfway in project, and Obama said, no, we don't need it. Well, guess what? We did need it.
We still do.
I'm impressed. I'm literally impressed. I've never seen a laser like that. That looks like something out of a sci-fi movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But again, you said like because of its range, maybe depending on range, it may require a little bit sustained contact, but the closer in you are, that looks like it's an instant death.
And I'm imagining these are nuclear reactors on board these ships.
Very likely.
Oh man, people! I feel if I was a Russian, I'd be getting worried.
I would not want to be on the other end of the front of that ship. Period. Ever.
I'm just saying, people.
Not in a cruise ship, not in an enemy warship, no other.
Oh, we got to look at this too before we go. Shit, I forgot about this. I wanted to play this at the beginning of the show, and I forgot. Ooh. So Harvard and a couple of other astronomers have said that this is worrying them because they don't know if this is coming to save us or to kill us.
Oh, is it a Oumuamua again?
No, this is something else.
Apophis?
No, this is like a bunch of shit headed. It's almost like torpedoes or something headed towards the planet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah, it says as mysterious interstellar objects known as the 31 Atlas plummet through the solar system, NASA's good old Hubble Space Telescope has captured the best look ever. So remember when you and I were talking about what is it? Oumuamua? Is that what it's called?
And then also
they said when it came back, it was bringing shit with it.
Yeah.
So this is what you got. Yeah. So this is Oumuamua in the middle, and this is shit with it's coming back with it.
Wow.
So the question is, this is what Harvard asked: is it coming to save us or is it coming to kill us?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Going to kick the reptilians and the other bad guys out? What's going on?
It's very weird. First, I was weird that this freaking whatever this thing was turned around and came back. That's just freaking everybody out.
You don't usually find in a interstellar space rock flying through your galaxy.
We've only had 3, and none of them are. I mean, I don't know, people. This is something that's got scientists worried. Because they really don't.
The fucking military is, shitting in their pants.
I mean, do we have anything that can take this out? I don't know.
If it's a fleet of alien spacecraft, there isn't a single thing we can do unless they are exactly as advanced as us. That means
this thing is traveling at 134,000 miles an hour.
You don't have anything that goes that fast.
I mean, this is outrageously ridiculous how fast this thing's going. And it's estimated to be 11 billion years old. Well, they have not a clue how. I don't even know how they got that number.
When is it going to be back? Does it say?
Let me see. 3.5 million miles across, 3.5 miles across, 1,000 feet in diameter. The Hubble image. Yeah, it's not telling me. We'll have to find out. We'll have to look them up. Well, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is it up here? On July 21st, the interstellar interstellar passed close to Earth in the Hubbles with orbits. Yeah.
Already did pass. Yeah. When's it coming? When is it going to hit us again?
I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. I guess they haven't targeted it yet. But it's bringing this shit. See, I read this the other day that was bringing stuff with it, and I was surprised. Fastest comet on record. Damn, it's the fastest comet on record. That's interesting. And I guess we'll do these because I know it's getting made. We got UFOs in orbit, unheard testimonies from astronauts. So we'll say that one for tomorrow because we get into that. We'll be an hour before we wrap that up.
Yeah, I just opened up a page that says, "Will Oumuamua return? Trajectory of the cigar-shaped asteroid." Yeah, let's continue this tomorrow.
Yes. No, James, we got to go to bed. Jay's been up since like 4 a.m.
Well, at 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6. So still, I've been up since about 8. It's well, no, there's other stuff we got. There's other stuff on Facebook. We got a bunch of material to cover. Just how it is. Well, this 3 hours went by lickety splickety, man.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
did.
boom. I don't know. It just went fast, and we've covered a lot of material tonight. I mean, a lot of material. I don't make the rules, my friend. Well, if this show was on a Saturday, we might push it into 4 hours. But being it's on a Friday, besides, I think I'm getting hungry.
I'm definitely hungry. And
Well, after you're on the show for a while, I got to take a picture of us, but I get hungry.
yeah.
Yes. Why do I do this? I take a picture of all the shows. Yeah, I got every news show and every well, tonight's just Jay and I, but I'll still take a picture. Well, you never know what I might do. I might put it online. I might do something else with it. Might use it for advertisement next week.
Or promos, yeah.
Yeah, promos. No, we made a big ham today, and so I'm gonna go eat some ham and potato salad in a few minutes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go pig out. So I've lost 10 pounds in the last since my face started hurting. I've been losing weight, even though I feel like I'm eating all the time because this fucking medicine I'm on makes me hungry. It either makes me stupid or hungry, whichever one. Oh no, there's a couple other jets. Now we probably won't do them tomorrow night because we like to keep tomorrow night a little lighter. But we will talk a little bit more about Muamua, and we will talk about these UFO astronaut things because that kind of falls in the parameter of that show. And we'll get into some other stuff, but this is the news show, and we covered a lot of news today. We definitely got into Russia and to Israel. Well, there's nobody else fighting right now because Trump's ended the rest of the wars. He basically told India and Pakistan, "You want a fucking war? I'll come over there and blow you both up." And they said, "Oh wait, Mr. Trump, no, we'll quit." And I forgot there was some other countries. I don't know if they were in the Middle East. I always think it was Cambodia, but it wasn't. There was 2 other countries that were into it, and Trump's basically told them the same thing.
Well,
Knock it off.
There's the classic, the Germans, the German chancellor in the 90s, mid to late 90s, when the mad cow disease was going around worldwide. The German chancellor got on national German radio and said, "We're going to kill 50,000 cows and try to nip this thing in the bud." Well, somehow that translated over to the French premier, and all he heard was, "We're going to kill 50,000." He called the German chancellor right away and said, "We quit. You don't have to use any bombs or weapons. We give in. we surrender right away." And the German chancellor like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "You said you're going to kill 50,000." He's like, "We're going to kill cows, you idiot." This literally
you got this idiot in office now.
really
I mean, first he gets bitch slapped by his wife, then he gets bitch slapped. So the UE chancellor, I mean the woman who's running, who I think she was German at one time, but she's running the EU now. She basically told him, because it was him, it was France. Oh, and I forgot the other country. It was some little country, bullshit country, that was bitching about the deal they cut with Trump. And she told France, "Well, you can always leave. Basically, don't let the door hit your ass. You need us more than we need you." So 2 weeks ago, his wife's bitch slapped him. Now the EU woman bitch slapped him. I mean, he just likes being bitch slapped, I think.
Apparently so.
What do you mean he's gay? Look, I'm not getting into if he's gay or straight. It's not my headache. That's y'all's headache.
It doesn't matter what his sexual preference is.
Oh,
he's clearly a buffoon.
Before we go, you whiny motherfuckers, with Trump running 3 terms. Okay, look. First off, it's illegal. But secondly, I keep telling my liberal friends, look, just think, if Trump runs for a 3rd term, doesn't that mean Obama gets to run? Or have y'all lost y'all's fantasy about Obama? Really? Doesn't he get? I mean, if Trump gets to run, he gets to run.
The only way he can run is as vice president. He can no longer run for president ever. He can run for vice president.
He's going to be 82. Let's be honest. Oh, excuse me. He's going to be 82, people. I don't think he wants to run again. He wants to see J.D. Vance take the legacy and go on. He might like to see one of his sons become a VP or something.
Yeah.
Even though I think it's going to
call. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Well, J.D. Vance is really good. That's how he got the job, was because of Trump's son. Trump's son came in and told him, the oldest son, what's his name, Junior?
Yeah.
Came in
John
and said,
Jr.
"Look, this is a really good guy." And Trump was like, "Look, this dude was talking shit about me." And he's like, no, he really likes you. He realized he was wrong. And so he talked this guy, he talked his daddy into, just like just like what's his youngest son talked him on to going on to Joe Rogan and doing some of the other stuff that he did. And yeah, his son came in and said, no, you need to go on Joe Rogan. There was something else he told him to do that both worked out for him. So both his sons really helped him in this election.
Increased, yeah.
So you could see J.D. Vance take in a Trump as a VP. That would be most interesting.
I did say at the end of the election that I would predict that the ticket for the next presidency would be a Vance Trump. Trump is VP. I didn't actually say Donald Trump. I don't remember. We'll have to look.
Yeah, I don't think Donald wants. I mean, he's going to be 82. I think he's going to be ready to retire, man. Some days he looks tired now. I mean, I think when he gets through it these 4 years, I think he's going to be ready to retire, and I think it's going to be good. Oh, guys, we'll talk about the terrorists tomorrow night. Okay, somebody bring it up tomorrow night. We'll talk about it. We'll also talk about the hundreds of billions of dollars that's brought in too. So I don't know where the money's going, but we'll talk about that as well. But anyway, I'm going to go get a ham sandwich. I don't know what Jay's going to go get. And
I have a bag of key lime donuts downstairs.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to go slap some chihuahuas around, Well, somebody said the end of the world's coming. I said, well, I got 2 chihuahuas. One's pretty chunky, so she might feed us for a couple of days.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, you know why I wouldn't eat my chihuahua? Because them the 2 best food finders on the fucking planet. They would sniff out food in a heartbeat. Plus, they hear so far away, ain't nobody sneaking up on my house. I was listening today, the average chihuahua can hear up to 5 miles.
Well, the good thing
No
about your
wonder
house
they go
is
nuts half the
from
time.
that side is where the dogs can hear, is where the land is. Behind you is all water. If
Yep.
any assholes come from the back, you'll hear them splashing around.
I'm going to call one of my friends and get me some Gatling guns and put one on each side of the corner, some 20 millimeter Gatling guns. And automated, you come walking around. Do you want? And get the Viper system. Do you want to die? That's how my sister's car was programmed. She had one of them Vipers, and she had the Viper system in it. And you could program what it to say. If you touched it, it said, "Would you like to die?" I love that car. That car was too much power for her. But anyway, guys, we're out of here. I hope y'all all enjoyed the show tonight again. Any moans, groans, bitches, or gripes, please write to Michelle DeRoche. If y'all see my friend Heidi, tell her where the hell she's at. But we're going to go and get some sleep and some food. And I'll be here tomorrow on the Arthur's Quill. And then after that, we will be here on the chat, just wreaking havoc like we always do. Now, this show is much more refined than the chat is. The chat's out of its thing. But again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in.
Joe, drop some F-bombs. Come tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. That's when you'll hear me cursing. So, yes, I curse a lot on that channel. How it even gets on YouTube is beyond me. But anyway, again, thanks for listening to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Jay and I say thank you, and we will see y'all tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.